We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Fly ball, left field. Happ on the warning track. Happ at the wall.
It's the Brewers and Cubs in Game 4 of the NLDS in Chicago.
It is gone. Jake Bauers having himself a night here at Wrigley.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 7:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12:01. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 9th. Your top story, an officer injured in a morning shooting.
I'm Jessica Tighe, the National Guard on patrol in Chicago.
Sunny and pleasant today, a high of 62 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, and a low of 50. It's currently 59 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee. At 12:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, one person is dead and an officer injured after a shooting on Milwaukee's north side happened this morning around 49th and Mill Road. Police sources tell WTMJ the off-duty officer was driving into work when the suspect cut him off and pulled in front of him. The suspect then got out of his car and pistol whipped the officer in the head and the face. The officer draws his weapon, which is when the suspect began shooting. The officer shot the suspect and killed him. The officer is currently being treated at the hospital for injuries.
Hundreds of National Guard members from Illinois and Texas are now on patrol in Chicago. They arrived at the ICE Processing Center in Broadview overnight. As News Nation's Xavier Walton reports, they appear ready for a long-term deployment.
President Trump says the Guard is there to protect ICE facilities and insists the deployment is legal despite concerns he's using the military for civilian law enforcement, which is against the law. Now, the troops stationed in Illinois are activated for 60 days, but our News Nation affiliate in Chicago has video of trailers, what appears to be fencing material, portable showers, and a dining hall, which could indicate potentially a longer stay.
For weeks, the Broadview ICE facility has been the scene of several peaceful protests along clashes between federal agents and demonstrators. Part of the National Guard's mission will be to protect the building, as well as the federal agents moving in and out of the facility.
A federal judge sentencing a Wisconsin man accused of smuggling lab equipment to Russian companies.
68-year-old Andrew Pogosian, a Russian-born U.S. citizen who lives in Madison, will spend a year in federal prison. Back in June, federal prosecutors charged Pogosian with 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and 3 counts of smuggling. Prosecutors say 3 years ago, Pogosian started using his company to ship lab equipment to Russian companies, including one that performed chemical research for the Russian military. Officials say that was a violation of trade sanctions. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Israel and Hamas are a step closer to ending their 2-year-long war.
We reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done.
President Trump says we ended the war in Gaza and even bigger created
everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East.
The deal calls for Hamas to release all remaining hostages, which the president says will happen.
They should be released on Monday or Tuesday.
And he expressed gratitude to the countries which helped achieve this.
To the leaders of Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey for helping us reach this incredible day.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
A friendly wager between 2 religious leaders along I-94. Milwaukee Archbishop Jeffrey Grob and Chicago Cardinal Blaise Supich are betting on their city to win the NLDS to benefit low-income families. Grob tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the bet involves donating food.
Cardinal Supich reached out to me and said, well, we've got these teams, so what can we do? And for good, to help feed the hungry, the poor, he proposed that he would provide pizzas from Lou Melinati's and I would provide good old brats from Wisconsin. That's the wager, depending upon who comes out of this best of 5 series.
Rob says the bet is all in good fun and hopes to unite support around both communities. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A rough day here for the Dow, currently down nearly 300 points at 46,324. NASDAQ off 110 at 22,934. And the S&P is down about 35 points today at 6721. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Could the Brewers close it out tonight? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
News sponsored by Ellie Mental Health. Visit elliementalhealth.com.
The Mental Health Minute.
Hi, this is Lisa, owner of Ellie Mental Health in Waukesha. I can hardly believe it's already been 1 year since we opened our doors right here in our community. Over the past year, we've had the privilege of walking alongside so many individuals and families as they've taken steps towards healing, growth, and better mental health. Starting this clinic was more than just creating an office. It was about building a safe, welcoming space where people feel truly heard and supported. None of this would have been even possible without our incredible team of clinicians and our amazing 2 directors. Together, they've built a culture of kindness, collaboration, and care that truly makes Ellie feel like home. As we celebrate this milestone of our 1-year anniversary, I want to thank our clients, our team, and this community for trusting us and believing in the importance of mental health. From all of us here at Ellie Mental Health in Waukesha, here's to year 2.
This has been the Mental Health Minute. Get started on your mental health journey today at elliementalhealth.com. Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
The best record in baseball, that's incredible. But I'm more impressed with the fact that the Brewers are celebrating their 4th division title in 5 years. That's a pretty big deal.
It's a huge deal.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
Tylenol was released in 1893, and we're talking about 1 in 31 may have autism.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like Prime Guard RV and Marine Premium Antifreeze, just $2.99 a gallon. Stabil Gasoline Stabilizer, $10.99 a quart. Motor Medic Instant Starting Fluid, only $4.49. Plus, we offer Blaine's Best Price Promise, guaranteeing you the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Another opportunity for the Brewers to close out the Cubs tonight at Wrigley. First pitch, Game 4 of the NLDS, scheduled for 8:08. We now know the starters for tonight's game. Freddie Peralta and Matthew Boyd will get the ball again. They started Game 1. They'll start again here in Game 4 tonight. If necessary, Game 5 will be played in Milwaukee on Saturday. And for the second time in 3 weeks, the Packers will see quarterback Joe Flacco. Flacco started for the Browns against the Packers in Week 3. He was traded to the Bengals earlier this week and named a starter for Sunday's game at Lambeau.
I was not expecting that one, but that's how the NFL is, man. It's crazy stuff happens, and obviously it's probably weirder for the defense going up against him. Pretty close timeline. So we'll see. It'll be interesting for him. New team, new situation. So we'll see.
Packers are 14.5-point favorites for Sunday's game, and the preseason continues tonight for the Bucs at home against the Pistons. You can hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No crashes. That's great news at this time of the afternoon. I will say we're still seeing in our construction zone on 41, closer to the Waukesha County area. That's that area on 41 as you're going from Milwaukee County into Waukesha County. It is slow going right now, a little bit before Bradley, all the way down to Good Hope Road. Also, staying on 41, our construction zone around Mayfair is very slow around Mayfair right now. The backup starts a little bit before North Avenue, then it clears before you get to Capitol.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
A pretty nice day today with temperatures topping out in the low 60s. Should be plenty of sun. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 50 degrees. AM showers are possible on Friday, then partly cloudy, high of 66. Sun returns on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the mid-60s. Could touch 70 on Monday, chance of morning rain. 59, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
All right, well, put the brooms back in the closet here. Try and get a win tonight in Game 4. Yeah, frustrating loss for the Brewers last night. Amazing job by the bullpen, but the bullpen was called upon in the first inning of last night's game. So, the net result, you got an 8:08 first pitch tonight with the Brewers looking to close out the Cubs. Should it go to Game 5, that would be in Milwaukee on Saturday. But we don't really want to be thinking about that.
Now, we've got another chance tonight. Let's do it, Brew Crew.
Plenty of Brewers talk on the show today. Plenty of stories that we're following here this afternoon.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Police tape is up and the investigation is on in a neighborhood on Milwaukee's north side. We know one person is dead after a shooting and a police officer is hurt. The medical examiner tells WTMJ they were called to the area of 49th and Mill Road. At one point this morning, you could see numerous police squads, an ambulance, and a crowd gathering. Police sources tell WTMJ an off-duty police officer was driving into work when the suspect cut him off and pulled in front of him. The suspect then got out of his car and pistol whipped the officer in the head. Our sources say the off-duty police officer then drew his weapon, and that's when the suspect started shooting at him. The officer then shot the suspect, killing him. The officer is currently being treated at the hospital for injuries.
President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Illinois facing scrutiny at a pivotal court hearing today, hours after a small number of Texas Guard members started protecting federal property in the Chicago area. U.S. District Judge April Perry hearing the arguments on a request to block the deployment of members of the Illinois and Texas National Guards while a lawsuit challenging the move proceeds. The city and state both filed lawsuits to stop the deployments, calling them unnecessary and also illegal. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson.
We're at a moment in which we have a federal government that has not only trampled on our Constitution, but it has declared war on American cities, and particularly Chicago.
So the troops have been asked to protect the ICE facility in Broadview and the district courthouse in Chicago. The commander says the troops will help protect federal agents at the two sites ahead of two high-profile legal cases involving the Department of Homeland Security on Friday.
Embrace the challenge. That's a message from the Milwaukee Brewers today as a series just got more interesting. The Brewers headed to Game 4 of the NLDS tonight after failing to sweep the series. Milwaukee lost 4-3 down in Chicago yesterday. Tonight's game is also at Wrigley. First pitch, 8:08. There's a watch party tonight at the Barrel Yard inside AmFam Field here in Milwaukee. Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger.
People will congregate and come to the Barrel Yard here at the ballpark and have great opportunity to watch the game, and it'll be at the stadium. Even though the games will be on the road, you'll still be at American Family Field.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Bernie Brewer, Barrel Band, the famous racing sausages in the 4-1 Force will be at the Barrel Yard too tonight. The Brewers have also teamed up with a handful of bars across the state for giveaways during the game. How about that? From Madison to Manitowoc, Green Bay, and La Crosse. I like one of the names of these bars, the Fat Seagull in Manitowoc. You ever been there?
Never heard of it. No, I've not. Can't say that I have. Well, hey, coming up later, just got this note in from Milwaukee Police Department. Looks like they're going to have a news conference at 12:30 this afternoon regarding that critical incident from this morning that we told you about here and have been telling you about throughout the day. Press conference at about 12:30 this afternoon. It's 12:13 on WTMJ. And the Now at Noon is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Check them out online at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek here for Flanners Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanners has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanners, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, or at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Do you have a spot that's too cold in the winter, but if you jack up the heat, the rest of the house is too warm? Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Time to get Jeff and his team out to your house. Proper insulation from USA forms a thermal barrier that maintains warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer. Time to get in on thousands of dollars of government efficiency credits. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation find the grants, rebates, reductions, and they discount the cost of your project up front. Get started at usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
A lot of sun today with a high of about 62 degrees, overnight low 50. Some clouds could roll in, just a chance for some morning rain tomorrow. Temperatures expected to be in the mid-60s under partly cloudy skies. Weekend looks great. Temperatures in the mid-60s and plenty of sun. 59 degrees and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:16. Joel Brennan is the president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee and joins us every Thursday about 12:15. Joel, welcome to the program.
How are you guys doing?
You're doing great. A little hangover from last night, admittedly. That game it took forever, first of all, but holding on for hope that the Brewers could eke out a run or two in the late innings, and not to be, so alas, here we are today, just waiting now until 8 o'clock.
It got better after the first inning. After the first inning, I think the Brewers were on pace to throw like 500 pitches in that game. So the getting somebody, Quintana, to quickly speed through some of those other innings, that helps us for whatever comes next.
Well, hopefully no innings, no fast first start here for the Cubs today. Been a crazy first inning in each one of these games. Hey, wanted to talk about this Microsoft plan in Caledonia. It's been growing over the course of time. There's still a significant investment Microsoft is making in Caledonia, but recently it decided to withdraw its plan to build a data center in Caledonia, and they cited significant opposition from local residents and officials. We are listening to the people, Microsoft says, but they're still plunking down like $7 billion for AI infrastructure in that area. So what are we to make of this?
Well, I think so. The original investment is going really where a lot of the infrastructure was built on the anticipation of what was going to go on with Foxconn. And so they've acquired land. They're spending, like you said, it's two separate projects that they have they're knitting together in Mount Pleasant, and that's a total of $7 billion. And I would also say, from all observations and people I talk to in the community, Microsoft is a really good partner in this. They've also invested in UWM. They're doing a lot of work around all of the other things that are not just about investment and employment in Racine County. They've got another project potentially in Kenosha. But what happened was, there was kind of an uprising over the last few weeks after they announced this project, this additional project in Caledonia, and they said, okay, let's put that aside and do it. I actually think that this is the way this process should work. There's nothing wrong with this. The timeline was such. There was an outcry about, I think Charlie Barron's has kind of lit a fire with people up in Port Washington, but that was pretty much after the project had been put to bed. Like, people are coming out of the woodwork now, but that's already a go. Now, what happened in Caledonia and Racine County was the community came and Microsoft at least listened at this point, and they're looking still to make an investment, but maybe somewhere else in that immediate vicinity.
That was my biggest takeaway when the news broke yesterday, is that Microsoft did listen. Yes, we could still end up with a data center in Caledonia, but not in this particular spot that people were so upset at. You mentioned Charlie Barron's, and I'll tell you what, he is one of many people who has had and does have concerns about data centers in Wisconsin. They come from a wide variety of community members, and we had him here in Wisconsin's Midday News to talk about his view back in August, and he put the jokes aside. Listen to this, Joel.
We've got to ask ourselves, do we want AI? And if so, do we want it at what cost? And how much AI? We're kind of going straight for super intelligence, and in doing so, you need more data storage. And that's going to be at the expense of water. It's going to be at the expense of land. It's going to be at the expense of people's home values.
When you have people like Charlie Barron's come out and say something like that, and that was just a little part of it, he's got a big audience. Do you feel like more people are going to be extra concerned about these data centers?
Well, I think that what you said is it's a variety of people. And when you get somebody who's got a statewide reputation and whose shtick is comedy, but who wants to talk very seriously about an issue, like I think people are listening, and I think he should have a platform for this. There's nothing wrong with that. There's the idea about data centers, there is certainly a lot to be said about the investment and the physical investment that's made. The alternative to that is the use of what are precious resources, and especially the potential of water, noise pollution, all of that kind of stuff, and the fact that these are not huge job creators. I remember when we were talking about Foxconn, I think the notion was 13,000 jobs, and that never came to fruition. But I think the data center that they're talking about on that site, it's not the entire site where Foxconn was, but I think it's going to be upwards of about 800 or between 800 and 1,000 jobs. Like, that's a significant investment, and for some people, they don't know that the real estate investment, that the juice is worth the squeeze when it comes to the employment and all those other things. But I think absolutely there should be that kind of platform. The discussion is healthy. What they did in Caledonia and being responsive to the local community, like that is the way the process should work. And I think that that's generally a good thing and a positive. And in a time where, we demonize people and we just, you have to do one thing or the other, or we're going to steamroll people. Like, these are local folks who have to live in these communities. They're going to ultimately, work with the employees who are there. And so it makes good sense for them to be able to listen and to be able to respond.
These are massive data centers on massive plots of land. Technology moves very fast. My wonder is, will there be a time in our lives where an AI data center could be the size of the studio? And then what do you do with the size of the building that you plunk down in these communities, right? The strain on resources may end up becoming less. Think about your first big screen TV. I still have mine from 20 years ago. The thing weighs more than my car. I can't move it, but it's still alive and kicking. I have no need to replace it. TVs have become bigger and thinner and cheaper. Technology moves so fast, Joel. You get these massive areas that I feel like in time you won't need to conduct all of your AI wishes.
Yeah, and that could be the case. The most important thing here, and a part of the reason why this part of the country has become such a magnet for these, is the resource of the Great Lakes. So the immediate needs for heating and cooling are significant, and the proximity to the lake makes this very attractive, at least in the near term. And I think the question, or what we need to wrestle with, is, these may not need what they need for the long term, but what are the impacts of what we're doing right now? What are we going to, over the years, are we going to pay for that? And again, I think these are useful dialogues to have happen in the community. We've put all this infrastructure and this investment into this. Some of it is starting to pay off. And again, I would say ultimately at this point, it seems like Microsoft is the kind of partner that you want to be engaged with. And their responsiveness to the local community, I think I give them good credit for that.
A couple weeks ago, I was having dinner along the river, and a table next to me, it was a group of, I'd say, younger men, maybe upper 20s. But they said, did you see what's going on at the Edison Tower? And one of the guys was really interested in it for various reasons. But the Edison Tower developer faces $25 million cost overrun. And the bottom line is construction there remains paused. What are your thoughts? What are your concerns with this whole construction project just stopped right now?
Well, I don't know all the parties involved. And I think, you've got a developer who the foundation is in the ground, and so the building is ready to come out. And now they've got to go back and value engineer to try to take out some of those costs. I think it's a challenge of where the market is now. And you look at what's happened over the last 10 or 15 years. For a long time, people have been building these large residential towers for market rate housing, and they continually get filled and get leased up, which means that they continue to get built. Unfortunately, this is kind of a confluence of a whole bunch of different events. There are costs that have risen for, this is supposed to be a huge timber project. The cost for the building materials has risen. The market has, I think, softened. So what you have seen in a number of cases over the last few years are what started out as market rate potential developments have now mixed in, they might be affordable housing or workforce housing aspects. And the city has started to step up and started to subsidize some of those. And there are other tools that are available to those. So you're starting to see a different mix, whereas for a long time it was just market rate, kind of high-end housing that was coming in here. Ultimately, for the community, it's good to have that balance and good to have a diversity in housing. I hope for the sake of the community and for the sake of these developers who have money at risk and their lenders and those who are involved in this project, that they can find the way to get this up out of the ground. Now, they also have worked with the city, and they have some arrangement on the parking garage kind of across the street from there at the Marcus Center. And that's another project I think that probably has some questions as they struggle or work through the challenges that they have at Edison. The idea of where they're going next, that becomes more challenging. And I think, again, I think the more transparency around this, the more community dialogue that there can be, the more that there can be constructive work with the Department of City Development and the Common Council. Like, these are challenging times, and the market oftentimes is what is the stoppage of these things, or where there can be challenges. So let's be direct and be transparent about those things.
Oh, it's great information from Joel Brennan, president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee, every Thursday here at 12:15. Always appreciate it, Joel. Go
Thanks,
Brewers.
Joel.
Nice to see you guys. Go Brewers.
You bet. 12:26 news coming up.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Hey, if you got a busted garage door, don't worry. Call Geis. Brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock and ready to go. An amazing inventory. As a matter of fact, they can even go custom for you. Whatever it is to meet your needs, Geis can help you with it. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, you know you're working with top quality brands, and you're working with Geis, so you're working with the top quality company as well. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their showroom in Brookfield, right off Barker Road. Hundreds of doors and openers, incredible inventory, custom design room, everything designed to get you back in the game. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
There's no better place to catch the natural wonders of fall than Lake Geneva. Stroll a lakeshore path in a kaleidoscope of color. Explore winding rustic roads. Take a scenic boat tour or glide through a forest on a zip line. At night, stargaze from a historic observatory. Cozy up to a campfire or have a cocktail on the patio. Enjoy the seasonal bounty at orchards, wineries, and farms with flavors to savor. Plan your fall getaway now at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for fall fun.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. there's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com. I'm Greg Matzek, awaiting the start of a press conference on a critical incident in Milwaukee.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. There is cautious optimism in Israel and in Gaza following the announcement Israel and Hamas have agreed on phase 1 of a U.S. peace plan. Israel's government still needs to approve the proposal. Phase 1 includes an immediate ceasefire, a partial withdrawal of Israeli troops in Gaza, and the release of all remaining hostages. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
The Israeli officials will certainly want this to be a seamless exchange. If you'll recall, in one of the last prisoner release exchanges and hostage release, there was a big ceremony, and some of the hostages were paraded through thousands of people. That is what the Israelis don't want to see again. It's our understanding that they have made that demand that on this next exchange.
President Trump says all remaining hostages could be released as early as Monday or Tuesday if the deal is finalized, and he signaled he may travel to the Middle East for the signing. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. We now know the name of the man who died after a fireworks explosion in an Oak Creek apartment. Medical examiner says 29-year-old DeAndre Lawrence was found unresponsive Wednesday morning at the Seasons of Orchard Hills apartment complex. Initial reports indicate a large amount of fireworks exploded in the kitchen of the apartment. Oak Creek fire crews say the unit did not catch on fire, but there was heavy smoke damage. Lawrence died at a hospital, but his cause of death is still unknown.
Poultry-related events in Jefferson, Waukesha, Walworth, and Rock counties are being suspended to prevent the spread of bird flu. The Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection says all poultry shows, exhibitions, and swap meets are being put on hold through the end of the year. In the last few weeks, 2 commercial poultry flocks tested positive for bird flu in Jefferson County.
Awaiting the start of a press conference here in Milwaukee, Police Chief Jeffrey Norman and members of the law enforcement staff are assembling here due to a critical incident earlier this morning.
We know one person is dead after a shooting and a police officer was hurt. Let's listen to the police chief right now.
Road while on his way to work. Both drivers pulled over and exited their vehicles. As they were assessing the accident, the driver of the other vehicle approached the off-duty officer and pulled a firearm. That subject proceeded to strike the off-duty officer in the face with his firearm. The off-duty officer drew his department-issued firearm, and the two individuals exchanged gunfire, and the subject was struck. The subject, a 26-year-old male, was pronounced deceased at the scene. No one else was struck by the gunfire. The officer was conveyed to the hospital for treatment of injuries sustained during the incident. That officer, who discharged his duty weapon during this incident, is a 40-year-old male with over 21 years of service. The officer will be placed on administrative duty, as is routine in the officer-involved shooting investigations. The Milwaukee Area Investigative Team will be investigating this incident. The West Allis Police Department is the leading agency. The video of this incident will be released in accordance with Standard Operating Procedure 575. This is a fluid and ongoing investigation. Questions?
Chief, describe that moment. They both get out of the car. According to you, the man pistol whips the officer, and then the man fires a shot at the officer?
So, and to clarify some with the comments here, there is a lot of stuff going on in social media right now, and I want to ask the public to very much have patience in regards to this process. As I just said, there will be a video that released this particular situation. Now, I'm not going to go into too much of the details, but during the time when the officer who was off duty was assessing the situation, he was struck in the mouth, and that's when there had gunfire exchange between the two of them. This was a moment where they were just looking at a minor vehicle accident. And this is a story that happens too often in our community here. How does a minor accident change into a deadly force situation? Unacceptable. We have to be better than this. There is no place for violence for these particular type of minor or even just argumentative disputes. So yes, during that incident, there was gunfire exchange.
From both parties?
Absolutely.
Who shot first?
The Kent duel is still going on in regards to figuring out in regards to how this all unfolded. This is still a fluid investigation, but there was shots exchanged between both parties.
You recovered a gun on scene?
There was a firearm recovered. There was a gun, yes.
You mentioned video. The officer, I believe, was in plainclothes. Is that correct?
That's correct.
He didn't have a body camera on. What video do you have?
We have video. It will be released according to the investigative procedures that we have there. But there is video, very clear video of this incident.
Any plans to release it sooner, given the temperature 5 blocks from where we stand?
So again, let me clarify how this process works. We have a process that we work with the Fire and Police Commission about how things are released. There are certain, by the rules of engagement, that we work with our community about what is the process of releasing the video. I ask for patience. I ask for understanding that what we write aligns with what we see, but there are certain individuals who are part of this process allowed to be able to watch and see this video before everyone else does, and we're going to respect that process.
One more question. Chief, one more question.
I'm sorry, you got to speak up, ma'am.
Did the off-duty officer identify himself as a police officer to the man who was shot?
So that's still being watched in regards to getting the full details of it. I know there was words exchanged, but to the full extent of it, we don't have the information at this time, but we will be able to report out a little bit later. You had a question?
Have you seen the video? Have you watched all the surveillance video yourself, Chief?
Yes, I watched it.
And what do you see in that video?
My press statement.
Are you releasing the names of those involved?
If it was the officer who was hit or with the car, or the officer who was in the other car?
You gotta say a question again.
Can you clarify which car hit which? If the officer hit the person who then had the gun, or vice versa?
So I know they were involved in a vehicle collision. Again, to get the details, as they're trying to report out to the community as fast as possible, we know that there was a collision that occurred. In regards to how that all transpired, we're still watching and looking at the investigation. We still have to interview, our officers being hospitalized. So it's definitely an ongoing investigation that we'll update as possible. One more question now.
You said the officer was he shot during this altercation, or how was he hurt?
So we don't disclose the full nature of the injuries. I know that he's getting checked out at the hospital at this time. Thank you.
So there you have Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman with the latest on the officer-involved shooting at 49th and Mill this morning. We do know one person is dead after the shooting and the police officer is hurt. New details just coming in about what happened and about who was involved. The officer is a 40-year-old male with at least 21 years of experience. He has now been placed on administrative leave, and that's typical. You also have a 26-year-old man who is dead. And basically what happened here is you had a minor vehicle accident. So you had a car crash, and then it turned into a deadly altercation. Both of them got out of the car. According to the chief, the man pistol whipped the officer. At one point, the officer was struck in the mouth. They exchanged gunfire. They're not sure yet who exchanged the gunfire first, as far as who actually shot that first bullet. That's something that they're looking at right now.
Off-duty officer in civilian clothes, no body cam footage, but Police Chief Norman says they do have video of everything. Surveillance in the area has picked up everything, and further details will be expressed over the course of time. But you're right, a minor incident, a minor traffic incident that resulted in gunfire and the death of a Milwaukee man. An off-duty officer struck in the mouth as an altercation broke out and turned into gunfire. More on this story throughout the day here on WTMJ. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:39.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
You know what it's like to go through something you thought would be a cakewalk, but it turned into a crucible. What started as a formality became formative. It changed you. And if you know what that's like, then you can relate to what happened to God's people in the book of Numbers. And maybe you can learn something by listening to their story.
Dr. Michael Ziegler, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Handle chairs with your choice of fabric or leather starting at $68.71 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Another opportunity for the Brewers to close out the Cubs tonight at Wrigley. First pitch scheduled for 8:08 tonight. Game 1 starters Freddie Peralta and Matthew Boyd will get the ball again to start Game 4. If necessary, Game 5 will be played in Milwaukee on Saturday. For the second time in 3 weeks, the Packers will see Joe Flacco at quarterback. Flacco started for the Browns against the Packers in Week 3 and was traded to the Bengals earlier this week and named a starter for Sunday's game at Lambeau.
I was not expecting that one, but that's how the NFL is, man. It's crazy stuff happens, and obviously it's probably weirder for the defense going up against him. Pretty close timeline. So we'll see. It'll be interesting for him. New team, new situation. So we'll see.
Packers are 14.5-point favorites for Sunday's game, and the preseason continues tonight for the Bucks against the Pistons at Fiserv Forum. You can hear that game on 94.5 ESPN beginning at 7 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a new incident in Milwaukee, I-94 East, right around the ramp from 25th Street. That's the St. Paul Avenue area. The right shoulder is blocked right now. They're calling it an incident. Can't tell if it's a crash or what exactly is going on. I'm looking at the cameras here, but this particular camera, they just zoomed in. Okay, I've got a better view. Perfect. I do see there's an emergency squad out there. And we have 2 cars that are involved. Looks like a Nissan Altima and a Jeep. I don't see anybody outside. Hopefully the injuries are not serious. Looks to be a crash involving 2 cars. We'll keep you posted on this one. But that is basically brand new. Emergency responders at the scene right now. I-94 East, right around the ramp from 25th Street.
Sunny and pleasant today, a high of 61 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, a low of 50. Just a slight chance of rain on Friday, then partly cloudy and a high of 66. Saturday and Sunday look nice, temperatures in the mid-60s, should be plenty of sun, maybe some evening rain on Sunday. That could linger into Monday. Monday's high 68 under partly sunny skies. 60 degrees, cool and comfortable in Milwaukee at 12:43. Well, Jonathan Ridderneck had his first court appearance on Wednesday in a federal court in Florida. Ridderneck is 29 years old. He's a Florida man arrested in Melbourne and facing federal charges of destruction of property by fire. Accused of starting a fire January 1st that led to the devastating Palisades fire in Los Angeles. We welcome in ABC's crime and terrorism expert. Brad, how did they ultimately find Ridderneck and connect him to this crime?
So, according to investigators, a combination of witness statements, video surveillance, cell phone data, and a fancy term they say of analysis of fire dynamics, which is the big way of saying how the fire started, where it started, what it was started with, etc. So, here's what I think happened on a sort of a simplistic level, that they were able, he was an Uber driver. They were able to track down his last 2 passengers before he set the fire on New Year's Eve. They both apparently told law enforcement that he was really angry about something. They weren't sure what that was. He drops his last passenger off right before midnight in the Pacific Palisades and then walks up a trail that law enforcement states is a trail that he knows, that he's been up several times, sets the fire, and then immediately calls shortly thereafter 911. Common behavior by people who set these kind of fires. Can't get through, eventually gets through, tells them about the fire, then leaves the scene. As he leaves the scene, he apparently sees the fire trucks going to the fire. He turns around and goes back to the fire and volunteers to help them. Again, common behavior with these type of fire setters. So I think they have all that through cell phone tracking. I don't know what they have as far as witness statements, but they would clearly have the fire folks' statements that he came back to the scene. But, social media, don't know about that. Apparently had a drawing of a fire in a urban area. Does that mean anything in and of itself? No, but it may go to motive possibly. So it sounds like on the surface, without knowing any details that they have, that's a reasonably strong case. I mean, it took them, 9 months to actually charge him. So a lot of work apparently has gone on into this case.
Brad, when we talk about some common characteristics of fire setters, sometimes I think back to childhood and you hear about kids starting bonfires in a bowl. Does this fascination often start young?
Yeah, I mean, it's I wouldn't say the word common, but there's been enough concern about kids and fascination with fires. There's actually therapy designed around helping kids get over their fascination with fires.
Oh, wow.
So did he have that back then? I don't know. We really don't know much about him. I can only talk from people who set these types of fires, tend to be obviously troubled on some levels. Anger, rage, and powerlessness, and you've heard me use those three terms when it comes to school shooters or mass shooters of any sort, play into motivation to go and commit some horrendous act. Fire has the additional power component that, what devastation you can do. This fire ended up burning 23,000 acres, 6,800 structures, $1.5 billion plus cost of damage. If you're into this, that actually watching a fire like that spread is probably pretty intoxicating. Again, does that fit him? I don't know, but some of it, at least based on what little we know about him, seems to fit.
Brad, the charges came down on Ridderneck. All are in conjunction with arson, setting ablaze to the areas in California that were burned. But ultimately, people died in this fire as a result of what he did or allegedly did. Are there more charges on the table here? I looked at it and I thought 5 to 20 years just seemed minimal to me for a man if convicted of these charges.
So you always charge people with the most immediate offense that you can prove. My guess is you're going to see much more serious charges because people, to your point, because people died in a fire that he set. He could actually be eligible for the death penalty. So expect to see more charges as time goes on.
Arsonists, sometimes known as firebugs, have this fascination that we talked about. Do arsonists often stay to watch their fires burn?
Yes. According to this particular case, he apparently took pictures before, during, after the fire. Because if the fascination's there, if you have it if you've taped it or photographed it, you can sort of relive what you have done. Just the whole idea that I mentioned earlier, that he turned around and went back to the fire and volunteered to put it out. Tells you volumes about how big a deal this is for him. To be part of it, but also not be part of it. Sort of naive thinking, I think, on his part, but you can't be a totally rational person to do something like this in the first place.
ABC's crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett. So what are the next steps here, Brad? They've located him, found him in Florida, first court appearance in Florida. Does he ever end up in California, or because it's because of the federal charges, can they do this really in any location that Ridderneck is currently living?
Yeah, but they typically return people. He'll have a hearing, or more than one, in front of a U.S. magistrate in Orlando, and he or she then will make the decision to have him removed to California. unlike extradition, if he were charged in the state of California and he's in another state, in this case Florida, you'd actually have to go through an extradition hearing. That would happen too. It's pretty common for, particularly in serious felonies like this one, for the city, county, state marshals in California, if this were a local charge, would fly out after the judge released him, pick him up, and take him back to California. So expect to see him back in Southern California, I think, reasonably soon.
And expect to see more charges as well. ABC crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett. Appreciate the insight, Brad. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome. Take care.
Pitch by pitch, inning by inning, game by game. Watching the Crew is a 162-game journey of grit, hard work, talent, and determination. Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management, we're with you on your journey as well. Your hard work and money deserve a partner like Annex for your investment, retirement, tax, estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. Take the next step towards retirement you desire and begin the conversation soon. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hey, win big in the month of October at Potawatomi. Greg Matzek here, talking about Bird Bash. It's a game with $50,000 in cash up for grabs. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries. Prize drawings will happen every Thursday. Plus, your play also earns you a shot at the $300,000 December season finale. It's called Bird Bash. It's only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. For more details, visit potawatomi.com/birdbash and hope to see you at the Sportsbook here every Monday during the football season. For Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, I'm hosting along with Gary Ellerson, and we're doing everything to break down the green and gold, their next game, looking ahead to their following game. All good stuff happening at the Sportsbook. Watch some baseball there tonight. Nothing like it. Visit Potawatomi.
At Og Prep North, we know the only way to build the future is on the foundation of excellence and faith. Og Prep North, built for academic, artistic, and athletic excellence, made for more. Learn more at ogprep.org.
Ryan Sternad, he's one of us.
You want to vote for a governor. You do have many to choose from who have elected experience. Or you can choose the one of us candidate. Hi, I'm Ryan Sternad, and you pronounce my last name like you are stirring a pot. In fact, I sometimes do. I'm a U.S. Army veteran who works for a living. I may have even served you at the stadium. I started drinks in the seats. Sure, I don't have elected experience, but I do have working class experience. Won't you want your governor to know what it's like to be in your shoes and to govern that way? I stick up for people who want to make money. And I was vocal in getting in-seat alcohol vending back when the crowd capacity returned to practically 100% in 2021. As governor, I'll fight to tax the wealthy. That's one of the reasons I became a Democrat 24 years ago. For more, go to ryansternadforgovernor.com.
Paid for by Ryan Sternad for Governor.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill. Witness the spectacular fall colors as you drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds. Tonight only, enjoy an 8-ounce beef tenderloin paired with a mahi-mahi topped with mango salsa, potato, super salad, and the Fox and Hounds homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for $68.99. And that's for 2 dinners. Relax with an old-fashioned, over 20 bourbons, and 100 wines in the 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds is off Highway 167, east of the Holy Hill Shrine. The fall colors are breathtaking. Enjoy 2 beef tenderloin and mahi-mahi dinners tonight only for $68.99. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Desserts, too. Tables are open. Serving from 4 p.m. Call and reserve. Google the Fox and Hounds for your free dinner.
A pleasant afternoon here with a high of 62 degrees. Should be plenty of sunshine. Clouds roll in tonight and should be around for a good portion of tomorrow. Tomorrow's high is 64 degrees. We're going to stay in the 60s here for Saturday and Sunday. Should be plenty of sun, though. Comfortable temperatures. Maybe a chance of rain later in the evening on Sunday night. 60 degrees, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:54. Time now to celebrate an everyday hero. WTMJ's Eric Billstad with the story.
An everyday hero is when we on Wisconsin's Morning News celebrate an average John or Jane or Fido who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Destin, Florida. They're in the Panhandle. Okaloosa Sheriff's Deputy Devon Miller, she was called to a home on a report of a missing woman. It was late. It was 10:30 at night. Elderly man says his 86-year-old wife went out for a walk with the dog, and she never came back.
She never takes more than 10 or 15 minutes. It's almost an hour now. It's over an hour now.
Okay, do you know what breed the
So
dog?
the whole interaction was caught on the deputy's body cam. This woman never came home. Very dark where they lived, which is near a golf course. So Deputy Miller gets the description, heads out to her squad car.
There's the dog.
And as she's driving through that neighborhood, she spots the dog.
Hey, baby, where's your mom?
So the deputy gets out of the squad. You can hear her there. She's talking to the dog, who starts leading her in a direction. Through a front yard, beside a home, onto a golf course. All in the dark, by the way. Not a lot of lights in this area. And she sees the woman lying near a sidewalk.
I'll catch you, ma'am. Hey, ma'am, can you tell me what happened?
Amazingly, the woman is okay. She had taken a tumble. She couldn't get up, and the dog was looking for help, it would appear. She was even surprised at what the Fido did.
He wouldn't leave. He kept coming back to me. He ran up to my car, and I said, bring me to your mommy, and he ran back here. He come up to your car.
She would have been out there all night if it wasn't for this pup.
Oh, Eeyore, you're a good boy. Grandma loves you. Good boy, Eeyore.
The video is amazing. You can see it from the body cam. Just text the word HERO to the Saturday Unlimited WTMJ Talk and text line 855-616-1620. You are a good boy, Eeyore. Thanks for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car is not one of them. The national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adam.com.
Well, those who know me well know that I like a good story. Here's a great story. Horicon Bank story. How about this? Dating back to 1896. Pretty amazing stuff here. Horicon Bank first opened its doors as Wisconsin residents were going to work. The state was barely 50 years old. They needed a bank. Oh, there was Horicon Bank right in the town of Horicon, opening up for its community. And they're still serving the community of Horicon and southeastern Wisconsin, with branches popping up in Menominee Falls and New Berlin. You might have seen them. Horicon Bank has not lost their community-minded feel as well and approach. It's the way they do business at Horicon Bank. Together doing good. That is their vision. They're committed to doing what it takes to help you and your business. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Time to get your furnace ready to work this winter. Vince Vitrano here with my HVAC guy, Ryan Sopa at Urban Heating and Cooling. Ryan, you're doing furnace tune-ups now.
Correct. We're starting to do furnace maintenance, making sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming cold weather.
You do all that for less than $100. You can save big, though, if you spend that money up front, right? Make sure this thing is good.
Correct. I mean, if we come in there and do a maintenance on your furnace, so it can help prevent major breakdowns for the next season.
Thanks, Ryan. Contact them now at urbanheatingandcooling.com. urbanheatingandcooling.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
You'll get a new heat pump system, a new furnace, and a full home duct cleaning all together as a package at about half price. Half price! That's how it all shakes out. Not a gimmick. And both the furnace and the heat pump system are high-quality units. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump system from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace and a free duct cleaning. All totaled, the cost would be about $20,000. When you add in the new tax incentives that you'll get back at the end of the year, you're going to end up paying about half. That's about $10,000 for a high-quality furnace, heat pump system, and a full home duct cleaning. It's limited time. And last time we did this, the units went pretty fast. So if your home needs a new furnace upgrade and a heat pump system that can act as a brand new AC system as well as a furnace backup, take advantage while you can and cut your energy bills substantially. Call Quality and get them while they're hot.
Call Quality for the signature service.
All quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano from Wisconsin's Morning News. It's baseball season, which means Brewers 360 is back every day at 8:40. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Every day, all season long, we're joined exclusively by Brewers guests, including manager Pat Murphy and more. So Murphy, as we're wrapping up our interview.
Great talking. We really enjoyed it, okay?
I was like, you did? Is he just in a good mood, or what'd y'all do to Murph?
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. Fly ball, left field.
It's the Brewers and Cubs in Game 4 of the NLDS in Chicago.
It is gone! Jake Bauers having himself a night here at Wrigley.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 7:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 9th. Your top story, updates on an officer-involved shooting.
I'm Jessica Tighe, getting closer to peace in the Middle East.
Sunny and pleasant today, a high of 62 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight at a low of 50. Back into the mid-60s on Friday under partly cloudy skies. It's 60 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 101 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom. A suspect is dead and a Milwaukee police officer is recovering after a shooting this morning on the city's far north side. Shooting happened following a car accident near 49th and Mill Road between an off-duty officer and a 26-year-old man. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman describes what police believe happened between the accident and when shots rang out.
As they were assessing the accident, the driver of the other vehicle approached the off-duty officer and pulled a firearm. That subject proceeded to strike the off-duty officer in the face with his firearm.
The officer was not hit by gunfire. The suspect died on the scene. Police say video from the scene will be released in the near future.
President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke by phone this morning following the big announcement of the peace deal in Gaza.
Netanyahu invited the president to address the Knesset in Jerusalem, and Trump told reporters during a cabinet meeting,
"If they would like me to, I will do it. It's the first time a president has ever done that, so that makes it very interesting."
Actually, former presidents Carter, Clinton, and George W. Bush have all addressed Knesset in the past, so Trump would be the fourth to speak before Israel's parliament. It's still not clear when the president will head there. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Well, it's day 9 of the government shutdown. Lawmakers still appear divided on how and when to solve the funding crisis. ABC's Selena Wang.
Republicans are saying that Democrats need to reopen the government, vote on that temporary funding bill, and then they can talk about any of the issues, including health care, that Democrats are pushing for. But Democrats, on the other hand, argue that they're not going to take a verbal promise from Republicans that they need to have good faith negotiations right now on health care, especially extending those Obamacare subsidies that are set to expire later this year.
Another Senate vote is expected later today.
A federal judge hands down a sentence for a Wisconsin man accused of smuggling lab equipment to Russian companies.
68-year-old Andrew Pogosian, a Russian-born U.S. citizen who lives in Madison, will spend a year in federal prison. Back in June, federal prosecutors charged Pogosian with 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and 3 counts of smuggling. Prosecutors say 3 years ago, Pogosian started using his company to ship lab equipment to Russian companies, including one that performed chemical research for the Russian military. Officials say that was a violation of trade sanctions. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Well, Brewers faithful seeking a gathering space ahead of tonight's game against the Cubs in Chicago don't have to wander too far from the ballpark.
Brewers fans looking for friendly haunts outside the friendly confines won't find much on Clark Street, but there are some diamonds in the rough.
You got a sky ceiling. It's almost kind of one of those Night at the Roxbury feels where, outside's inside, inside's outside.
Home Away from Home has several Brewers flags outside the ivy-covered walls of the bar, which owner Chris Johnston tells WTMJ is his way of signaling for Brewers fans, this is your home away from home.
The thought is we're at the friendly confines right down the street. We might as well be the friendliest sports bar out there.
Out and about in Wrigleyville, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Not a great day here. The Dow is off about 275 points at 46,330. NASDAQ off about 100 at 22,940. And the S&P down about 31 points today at 6722. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Well, the Brewers get the W tonight. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 104.
Vince Vetrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Still time to remodel ahead of the holidays. In the Vetrano home, we're going new hardwood floors before Thanksgiving, and we can get it done because we're working with this local family-run business, Hunt's Flooring. It's Phil and Tony and the team over there always looking for great deals on carpet, vinyl, and hardwood. They buy when the deals are hot, they pass the savings on to you, and they've got everything in their own huge warehouse on Highway 100. Hunt's is ready for your project as soon as you are. Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield, huntsflooring.com.
Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots. Many people gain the weight back after stopping, but there's a better way. Using the Milwaukee Weight Loss proprietary natural-based program, we've helped thousands of people not just lose weight, but keep it off long-term. You can lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks while protecting your muscle mass. No side effects, no rebounds. Ready to transform your body for life? You can do this. Schedule your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavidi here after a summer in the maintenance phase. Feeling great, looking great. I'm back in reduction mode with the goal to lose 10 more pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. That means I'll have lost 50 pounds since January. The best part, none of the intense workouts, none of the meals, kits, or shakes, no meds, no injections. Many patients see 20 to 30 pounds plus come off in just a month or two. You can do it. I did it. Book your free consultation today at 262-393-2334 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
It's like you don't want to even do anything anymore. You lay in bed in the morning, putting off the pain. You put off your workouts. You put off your walks. And yard work, that's just not even an option anymore. As we speak, pain is taking away more and more from your life. And unless you take action, it's going to get worse. And that's no way to live. Not when there's a Rejuvenex clinic nearby. Because the power of Toradol, joined with the wonder of hyaluronic acid, can alleviate your pain. And it can allow you to start living your life again. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, Rejuvenex treatments are affordable. They're FDA approved. And in many cases, our patients pay nothing at all. Because insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pay for them. If your pain just won't go away, you should call Rejuvenex today.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Google reviews will tell you it's worth a try.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Freddie Peralta, Matthew Boyd. Game 1 starters will be Game 4 starters tonight at Wrigley. Brewers looking to close out the Cubs and end the NLDS and advance to the NLCS. Coverage of tonight's game can be heard following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. We'll roll right into Brewers baseball with first pitch scheduled for 8:08. 14 names appear on the Packers injury report this week coming off the bye, including kicker Brandon McManus. He's battling a quadriceps strain, according to head coach Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, that's a major concern right now, so we'll see how he's doing today and tomorrow, and then, we'll have a plan ready to go.
The Packers are 14.5-point favorites for Sunday's game against the Bengals at Lambeau. And the preseason continues for the Bucs tonight at home against the Pistons. You can hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic in Waukesha County on 41 in our construction zone. We are seeing backups again today. They start a little bit before Bradley Road, and then they clear up after Good Hope Road. As far as our construction zone on 41 near Mayfair, that one kind of looks like a gummy worm today, a red and yellow one. It is very slow, then it eases up, then it gets very slow again. What we've got going on right now is the slowdowns start before North Avenue on 41, and then they clear up before Capitol.
Sunny and pleasant today, a high of 62 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, a low of 50. Slight chance of rain on Friday, then partly cloudy skies and a high of 66. Sun returns on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the mid-60s. 60 degrees, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Counting down the hours until first pitch from Wrigley Field, 8:08 tonight. I was watching the Dodgers and Phillies last night, thinking to myself, okay, can the Dodgers pull this off and maybe just sweep the Phillies and have the Brewers play a 6:08 game tonight instead of an 8:08 game?
That would be a nice time.
Well, good
6:08.
for everybody, right?
You get home from work. You don't have to leave work early, right? Because a lot of people were doing that yesterday, kind of leaving work early to go see the game, and then you're not staying up so late as this 8:08 game tonight. That would have been ideal. But
kind of felt like the players would have enjoyed that a little more as
yeah,
well.
Probably.
It's going to be a pretty chilly night, you'd have to imagine, at Wrigley. Freddie Peralta and Matthew Boyd, your starting pitchers.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, new details about the deadly officer-involved shooting on Milwaukee's northwest side. We now know the man who was killed was a 26-year-old. The officer involved was off duty at the time. He's a 40-year-old man with 21 years of experience. This all started around 8:30 this morning. The two got into a minor car crash near 49th and Mill Road. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman now says both men got out of their cars, then the driver pulled out a gun and pistol whipped the officer in the face. Chief Norman says the two then exchanged gunfire. Who fired first is still being investigated.
This was a moment where they were just looking at a minor vehicle accident. And this is a story that happens too often in our community here. How does a minor accident change into a deadly force situation? Unacceptable. We have to be better than this. There is no place for violence for these particular type of minor or even just argumentative disputes.
Since the Milwaukee police officer was not on duty at the time, he was wearing normal clothing. It's not known yet whether he identified himself as a police officer. He's now being placed on administrative leave during the investigation.
Well, the brooms are back in the closet, but the Brewers can still earn an NLDS win tonight in Chicago against the Cubs. Through 3 games, the teams have combined to score an MLB playoff record, 18 runs in the first inning.
Both teams come out firing. You know, that's what it's about. And they know us, we know them. There's a lot of emotion in the game, and it says something for both teams.
That's really. Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Yeah, you're going to want to be in your seats when that game begins. You could be missing some fireworks. Neither team has named a starting pitcher as of last night, but then things changed today when we learned Freddie Peralta would start for the Brewers, Matthew Boyd for the Cubs. So these are your Game 1 starters going now in Game 4. And the Brewers had a decision to make here, but Peralta, he's your best. He's your all-star. He led the league in wins. He is comfortable pitching on 4 days rest. He did it 12 times during the regular season with great results. So going to have some chilly conditions tonight with the first pitch scheduled for 8:08. Should the Cubs win, there will be a Game 5 in Milwaukee on Saturday.
Oh, geez, we'll see. Number 3, country star Luke Combs is coming to Lambeau.
But you roll in with your hair in the wind, maybe without warning. I was doing alright, but just your side had my heart storming. The moon went high and stars quit shining. Rain was driving, thunder, lightning. You wrecked my whole world when you came and hit me like a hurricane.
Today, the Green Bay Packers announced Luke Combs will bring his My Kind of Saturday Night tour to Lambeau Field on Saturday, May 16th. The show will mark Combs' first performance at Lambeau Field. This is a big show. Special guests include Dierks Bentley. Tickets go on sale next Friday, so fans, circle it on the calendar. Combs' concert will mark the 5th large-scale concert inside Lambeau Field. Kenny Chesney performed at the stadium back in 2011. Chesney and Jason Aldean performed at Lambeau in 2015. Billy Joel in 2017. And Paul McCartney 2 years later.
Luke Combs coming to Lambeau Field. It's 1:13 on WTMJ.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hey, Greg Matzek here. If you're looking for an upgrade of your audio and video system at home, you connect with the folks at Flanners, and they can walk you right through the process. It's not always bigger that's better. You don't want something too big for your space. No, you want something that looks just right. Great viewing angle, great refresh rate if you're watching games, great sound for movie nights. You know what I'm talking about. Collecting some memories while you're watching the TV with your family and friends. You're hosting. Picture yourself in that environment, and now look at your equipment. Is it ready for the task? Connect with Flanners, locally owned Flanners, the design, the installation experts, all right here in southeastern Wisconsin, in West Dallas, with a beautiful showroom. Another one in Grafton. You can shop anytime at Flanners.com. It's locally owned Flanners, where quality, service, the best brands, and guaranteed best prices are all top priorities. Check out the website here. Pretty amazing stuff. All sorts of items on sale. They got a best price guarantee as well. It's Flanners. From start to finish, sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Bring every detail of your world into clear focus with personalized eye care at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. The experienced and caring team of eye care professionals at Shopko provide comprehensive eye exams tailored to your unique vision needs. Need glasses, contacts, both? From expert care to the perfect prescription eyewear for your lifestyle. Get everything in one convenient visit. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
A pretty nice day today. Comfortable temperatures in the low 60s here with plenty of sunshine. Some clouds could roll in later tonight. Overnight low in the 40s. Going to be chilly again. Tomorrow we look like mid 60s for your highs. Some clouds. Could be a partly cloudy day with a light chance of rain late in the evening hours. It's 60 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 116.
Today, UW Health is at the center of something that could change the future of breast cancer screening. Artificial intelligence is making its way into nearly every part of medicine, and now a major new clinical trial is testing whether AI can help doctors detect breast cancer earlier and more accurately. It's called the PRISM trial. UW Health is just one of 7 sites across the country taking part. Joining us now is one of the experts involved in the trial, Dr. Ryan Woods, a radiologist with UW Health. This is fascinating. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So, Dr. Woods, what exactly will the study look at, and how does artificial intelligence come in?
Yeah, so as everybody probably knows or has heard in the past, that approximately 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. About 40 million women have a screening mammogram per year. However, we also know that about 1 in 8 cancers is missed during mammogram interpretation. Although AI tools are already being touted as the great, next best thing in breast imaging, we really lack some robust real-world data to sort of verify that that's true, and that's where this trial comes in. So we're enrolling patients from across the country, as you mentioned, 7 different sites. We plan on evaluating approximately 400,000 screening exams, and to really determine whether the AI tool can help us in our ability to detect cancers.
Dr. Woods, is the experience for the one getting checked out changed in any way with this technology?
Yeah, so no, it doesn't at all. So it's really a tool that's geared towards the radiologist, the person who's interpreting the screening mammogram. And the way this trial works is it's randomized whether the tool is turned on or off at each exam. So the radiologist doesn't even know until they open up the exam whether the AI tool is being used or not, until they see the scorecard, which basically says, what is our assessment of whether we think there's a breast cancer on this image or not.
Some people worry about AI replacing doctors at some point. Can you explain how radiologists and AI are actually working together in this trial?
Yeah, so what's really important for this trial is that the radiologist has the final say on the interpretation of the mammogram for every mammogram that they look at. We really envision the AI tool kind of as a co-pilot, right, where it's aiding the radiologist to identify cancers, improving their ability to see things that they might overlook related to some dense tissue that might be near a cancer. So one person described it to me as sort of the AI tool is the co-pilot, and the radiologist is the person still driving the car. Right? They have their hands on the wheel, they're making the final decision, and they're using this as a tool to help them identify more cancers.
It seems like a really unique opportunity here, Dr. Wood. So how did it end up in Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's a great question. So one of our co-PIs, Dr. Christoph Lee, recently moved his practice here to University of Wisconsin from the University of Washington, and he was intimately involved in establishing this trial initially, and he thought this would be a great site to include as well, and we were very happy to participate as the only site in the Midwest and be one of these large academic institutions across the country that are running the trial.
Any idea if this trial proves successful, how soon AI tools like this could become part of standard breast cancer screenings across the country?
Yeah, so one of the reasons that we're doing the trial is that AI tools are already increasingly being used across the country. But we've had some issues in the past in breast imaging where adjunct tools, kind of like AI, have been used without really that external validation of whether they're making a big difference or not. And some of the tools that we've used in the past have actually proven that they weren't actually that helpful to the radiologist. They didn't improve their ability to detect cancers. So we really want to get this started right away to be able to verify for people who are thinking of our practices that are thinking about implementing this technology for their patients to whether this really makes a big difference or not. Does it improve our ability to detect cancers? Does it also decrease the number of false alarms that we see? Right, and both these things would be very great goals for us to have. So it's really important for us to get this started very soon. And what we plan to do is running this randomized trial for about 2 years out of the 5 years of the grant, and to make an assessment relatively early on in the grant to say, yes, is this doing what we intended to do, and then provide some additional follow-up analysis.
Well, the goal is to, further clarify detection rates, right? You don't want false positives. That can be...
That's right.
Just one of those things that as a patient, I can only imagine, you hear false positive, and you're just sort of hanging on the edge here, waiting for the real result to come through.
That's right.
But that could be across a variety of different cancers, Dr. Woods. So this pertains to breast cancer. Is there thought that this could be duplicated somehow in screening for other cancers?
It's possible. Certainly this technology, AA technology, is used a lot in imaging. In fact, imaging is one of the primary areas in medicine in which AI technology is being used. However, in breast imaging specifically, we're uniquely situated because we do screening, right? We do screening with an imaging tool. That is also true in areas such as lung cancer screening, which is done with the CT exam. But breast is very unique in the sense that it's done by a very large part of the population. And we do it, and at least we recommend for patients to have their annual screening mammogram.
As a woman, it's just the worst, too, when sometimes you go in and then they call you back to have another exam, and then they say, well, we think that this isn't going to be an issue, but, we're going to call you back in 6 months. It's like, every day, I swear, for like 2 weeks, you're just extra worried about it. At some point, you think, okay, well, hopefully it's nothing. And then you go back in 6 months, and hopefully you find out that it is indeed nothing. But that doesn't happen for all women. Dr. Woods, I was just wondering, what's most exciting to you personally about this research? Did you ever have a moment while you were studying back in the day when you thought you would be working with artificial intelligence and something as groundbreaking as this?
Yeah, definitely not. All of this use of AI in medicine is a very recent sort of technology, right? We're all learning about this in all the different facets of our lives. And certainly when I was training, 10 or 15 years ago, this was not even mentioned as a remote possibility. Interestingly, in some of my work doing in computers and medicine and imaging, a friend of mine said, aren't you worried that, in 5 years you're going to be replaced by AI? And I said, well, I think I'll be okay. And the reason is that we really envision AI tools being an aid to the radiologist, right? There are ways to help us be better at what we do. And I think you're never going to take away that sort of patient interaction, right? Like in the example that you give, me going into the room and saying, hey, I think you need to follow up imaging, or we need to do a biopsy. That's never going to be taken away by AI. What's also never going to be taken away is the fact that we do biopsies, right, on patients. And I think most patients out there really want the radiologist to say, hey, I think you need a biopsy, and I'm going to be the person to do it for you. So no, this was never considered, and I think there'll always be a role for the radiologist sort of in the loop here. But one exciting thing, which I think might be on the horizon, is that this is a kind of tool that can be used in any practice out there, whether it's in a large academic center like ours in Madison, or also a very small rural practice. And in rural practices, you may have radiologists who don't have specific fellowship training in breast imaging, and may be less confident. And really, a tool like this can really improve their confidence and accuracy and ability to identify cancers, and also decrease those false positives that you're talking about.
Well, it's cutting edge technology, and it just sort of, globally, you look at the healthcare system here in the state of Wisconsin, it does seem like Wisconsin has some of the best here in the country, along with a number of other locations. But you get treated in Wisconsin, you feel like you're in good care, and it's because of things like this, cutting edge technology and trying to have a better patient experience and outcome.
Yes, that's absolutely true. I think we're very lucky to be here in Wisconsin.
UW Health, part of a major new clinical trial testing whether AI can help doctors detect breast cancer earlier and more accurately. Dr. Ryan Woods, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck with the trial. It's 1:25. Coming up next, we've got local news, and we'll visit your top national headlines as well.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe each weekday.
I made my much talked about here in Wisconsin's Midday News recipe. Greg?
Egg roll in a bowl?
Egg roll in a bowl.
Why didn't you call me?
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast.
So subscribe, take us with you wherever you go. Full shows, full hours, all the interviews, the fun stuff that you may have missed throughout the course of your day.
Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management. It didn't seem like it when the season started, but we've watched the crew become a great team. We're just as proud of the team here at Annex. I'll put the Annex team up against anyone when it comes to what we do. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. If that's what you're looking for, let's talk soon. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. In the meantime, let's enjoy championship baseball in Milwaukee.
So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure. Join me every Saturday for Experience Wisconsin. We check in with communities across the state for the best and brightest spots around Wisconsin. Fall's a beautiful time. Plan your trip now and let us help you. It's a fun show, and I love it. The guest this week, the Wisconsin Historical Society. I think we're going to actually talk about Old World Wisconsin with Dan Hess, and we'll travel to Elkhorn. Kate Abbey in Elkhorn. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Experience Wisconsin every Saturdays right here on 620 WTMJ.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
Coming up on 1:30, this is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 9th. Your top story, dispelling rumors about the Wisconsin Center District.
I'm Jessica Tighe. The impact of tariffs on Wisconsin ginseng farmers.
Sunny and pleasant today, a high of 62 degrees, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 50 degrees. Might see some rain in the morning hours on Friday, then partly cloudy and a high of 66. Weekend looks very nice. Fall-like conditions with temperatures in the mid-60s. Should be plenty of sunshine. Just a chance for some rain later on Sunday night that could linger into Monday morning. Monday's high 68 degrees. It's 60 and sunny in Milwaukee.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. In Israel, families of hostages are waiting, along with Palestinians in Gaza, on whether Israel's government will approve Phase 1 of the U.S. peace plan. Israel's prime minister meeting into the night with his security cabinet to take a vote on the deal ahead of a full government vote. It includes a ceasefire and release of all remaining hostages. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
We've heard from an Israeli official that once the Israelis ratify this agreement, that the ceasefire itself will begin in Gaza over the course of 24 hours. And so after that 24 hours is when the 72-hour window begins for all of the hostages to be released and turned over.
President Trump at a cabinet meeting thanking all nations who helped in negotiations and says once finalized, the hostages could be freed as soon as Monday or Tuesday. The president says he may also travel to the Middle East for the signing. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. The head of the Wisconsin Center District is defending a study they have implemented looking into the future of the UWM, Panther Arena, and Miller High Life Theater.
The study is merely meant to learn more about the long-term sustainability of the two venues, says Center District Chair Marty Brooks.
It is not an action plan that we have any requirement to move forward with. It's background information.
Brooks tells Wisconsin's Morning News the intent is to get more information about options
and start thinking about and discussing where do we want to be as a community.
But Brooks also did say a convention hotel would help lock in more events.
To have another hotel close in proximity would really help us attract more business.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Results from the study are expected to come out in January.
We now know the identity of the man who died after a fireworks explosion in an Oak Creek apartment. The medical examiner says 29-year-old DeAndre Lawrence was found unresponsive Wednesday morning at the Seasons of Orchard Hills apartment complex. Initial reports indicate a large amount of fireworks exploded in the kitchen of the apartment. Lawrence died at the hospital.
Poultry-related events in Jefferson. Waukesha, Walworth, and Rock counties are being suspended to prevent the spread of bird flu. The Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection says all poultry shows, exhibitions, and swap meets are being put on hold through the end of the year. In the last few weeks, 2 commercial poultry flocks tested positive for bird flu in Jefferson County. If possible, poultry owners should keep their flocks indoors to prevent contact with wild birds.
Tariffs on American ginseng are negatively impacting Wisconsin farmers. Host of the Midwest Farm Report, Pam Yankee tells WTMJ ginseng farmers have lost a majority of their business to China.
When the first Trump administration took the market away, ginseng growers in Wisconsin started storing their market. But to be fair, that market has never recovered. Why? Because China grows its own ginseng. It's not the highest quality like Wisconsin's, and the relationships that Wisconsin ginseng built can only last so long.
Yankee says the tariffs have also caused ginseng farms to emerge in other parts of the world as competition.
Goodwill is planning to sell its Milwaukee headquarters on the city's northwest side. Milwaukee Business Journal reports the James Wright Center for Work and Training has been listed for sale. It's valued at $9 million. Goodwill says it's hoping to find a new space in the same part of the city. Organization served 15,000 people in Milwaukee County last year.
The Brewers have another chance tonight to close out the Cubs. We'll see what happens. We're looking ahead. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
I know why you continue to live in pain. It's because you don't believe anything can be done to help. Maybe you bought into something and you've been burned before. I mean, your skepticism, it's understandable. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And here we use powerful, anti-inflammatory, and cushioning pharmacological medicines to ease your pain. They're FDA approved, and most medical insurance is going to pay for our treatments, including Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the litmus test. Because if insurance has shown to cover the cost of many of our patients' treatments, you can be sure it's valid medicine. It's not a biological treatment considered experimental, or some new gimmick that's trying to hook you. The Rejuvenex approach to pain relief is legitimate. It helps to alleviate pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. And from what we've seen, it gives people a new lease on their lives.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery and haul-away, and way too low prices on Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper?
Yeah, besides that.
Well, Hasselus is locally owned.
You mean your franchise is locally owned?
We're not a franchise. Every showroom is owned and managed by the same family. So, when you shop at Hasselus, your money stays right here. And through Monday, our family wants to give you a $248 credit towards a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
I like that.
Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
I love that.
Free next day delivery too.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Shop local and enjoy a $248 credit through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Planning for 2026 starts now. A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to our Outdoor Living Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. 14 names appear in the Packers injury report this week, including the kicker, Brandon McManus, who's battling a quadricep strain, according to head coach Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, that's a major concern right now, so we'll see how he's doing today and tomorrow, and then, we'll have a plan ready to go.
Packers are 14.5-point favorites for Sunday's game against the Bengals. The preseason continues for the Bucs tonight at home against the Pistons. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN beginning at 7 o'clock. And the Brewers take on the Cubs tonight. 8:08 the first pitch, Freddie Peralta and Matthew Boyd. They both started game 1. They'll both start again tonight. Brewers, with a win, will close out the NLDS and advance to the NLCS. If necessary, game 5 of the NLDS will be played in Milwaukee on Saturday.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a new crash. I-94 East, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. We've got the right lane blocked right now because of this crash. I'm taking a peek right now at the cameras for you to see what the situation is. I do see numerous emergency responders at the scene right now. I've got 2 different views I'm looking at. Both are kind of far away, but bottom line is there are at least 2, possibly 3 vehicles involved in this crash. Emergency responders are there at the scene. Traffic is moving along. Oh, here comes another emergency responder speeding up to the scene right here. Looks like they're going to stop to help out as well. Yeah, this is going to be out there for a while. Traffic is moving along slowly. Once again, this is a brand new crash. Happened right at 1:30. I-94 East, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. The right lane is blocked due to a multi-vehicle crash. Emergency responders are at the scene, and this is going to cause a backup within moments.
Of feels a lot like yesterday outside with temperatures in the low 60s here. Plenty of sunshine, but I do want to start at Wrigley once again because it looked like a nice start to last night's game. Kind of chilly, and by the end of the game, it was downright cold. And tonight's game is starting when it's going to be dark outside. A full-on night game at Wrigley Field. It's going to be chilly.
It does sound like a lot of fun, though. You just got to bundle up.
Yeah.
And, there is a time, I thought about this going to Game 1 on Saturday. I was like, man, it feels like summer. I have a lot of my Brewers gear is long sleeves. I don't have as much short sleeve. So, that's a decision you have to make. You've got to have the right attire for the games. This
stall tactic was to enable Lauren Larson, TMJ4 meteorologist, to figure out what the schedule and forecast is for Wrigley Field tonight at about 8:08. That's the first pitch tonight, Lauren.
Perfect. It's like you guys have a camera in the Weather Center. I was like, oh my gosh.
Scrambling.
And I'm Googling Chicago weather.
Well done.
Yeah,
what have you discovered?
Like you said, of course, it's already going to be dark and a little bit chilly, but I mean, we're not really talking cold. Seeing those temperatures in the mid to upper 50s with mostly clear skies, kind of like yesterday. And I want to piggyback kind of on what you guys were saying. It was so weird last night seeing all the people wrapped up in blankets and like puffer coats, which it's not necessarily that kind of weather, but the 50s certainly feel cold this time of year.
I think there's something, too, just as you get older, it's just not as comfortable to be cold. And I think you realize that, you know what, I'm just going to bring that coat just in case because you want to be comfortable. I think a lot of people were feeling like that out at Davidson Park for the watch party, the big watch party. That looked like a lot of fun out at the Harley-Davidson campus yesterday.
Yeah, I hope that we have a different outcome tonight. That's certainly the wish.
Well, what are we looking at here around southeastern Wisconsin for the next several days?
Well, not a lot. It's still kind of just this nice fall pattern. Today we're in those low 60s. Tomorrow we can expect a high of 66 in Milwaukee, so a little bit warmer. We may see a few scattered showers into the early morning hours for your Friday, and then mostly sunny skies throughout the rest of the day. Looking still in those mid to low 60s for the weekend, 63 and sunny on Saturday, 64 and mostly sunny on Sunday. And then maybe a chance for some showers as we get into Monday, but looking at the upper 60s at least. So really just normal temperatures. As far as those overnight lows, not too bad, sitting in the low 50s and upper 40s as we go throughout the next couple of days.
Well, we're looking forward to that. I do see some sprinkles maybe in the forecast here, but no all-day soakers in the forecast.
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct. Maybe not an all-day soaker on Monday, but the chance is a little bit better to see more rain, but not a soaker.
All right, fair enough. Lauren Larson, TMJ4, a meteorologist. We appreciate it, Lauren. Thanks, you.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
141 on WTMJ, our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston. After this.
Hey, the holiday season is fast approaching. I know, hard to believe, right? WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you own a company or are in management, you know how valuable your loyal, hardworking employees are. Show your appreciation with a company holiday party at the Mine Shaft Family Restaurant in Hartford, one of my favorites. The party rooms are free, and the food is so affordable. That world-class game room adds a ton of fun, especially if the kids are invited. Your holiday party does not have to be expensive. Don't break the bank. The Mine Shaft will create a party to fit your budget. If you own a small business, the Mine Shaft is perfect for you and your team. Have your next team building lunch or dinner at the Mine Shaft. Your employees will really appreciate you. Reserve your company or family holiday party, team event, or kids' birthday party at the Mine Shaft restaurant. Do it now. Grab the best dates. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near EAA. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft. There's no restaurant inflation at the Mine Shaft. Stop and dine this week. Just Google it. The Mine Shaft Restaurant.
Hey, sounds good, John. Hey, while you're at it, head off to the Hounds and Tap. If you want to have a great time, hang out with your dog and some other good people at the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. Indoor-outdoor tavern. Watch the game, food from a food truck, grab an ice-cold drink. You know what I'm talking about here. And socialize while your dog does the same thing. If you just have a longer than expected work day, no problem. Hounds and Tap is your go-to source for doggy daycare. Headed out of town? Doggy daycare, doggy boarding as well at the Hounds and Tap. Maybe just need a nail trim. Well, grooming appointments are also available. Maybe just a nail trim or a full-on spa day. Whatever it is, you can count on the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. Wonderful people, top-notch services, 12,000 square foot facility, designed and built for dogs. It's just a couple of miles away from our house. Every time we drive by it and our dog is in the car, night stands up in the back of my wife's car and kind of looks outside, right? He knows about the Hounds and Tap. It's where he wants to go. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. Check out the website, houndsandtap.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
1:45 on a Thursday. Time for our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County and Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Hi, Dr. Weston.
Hello.
I feel like we should do an entire segment on how to manage anxiety while watching playoff baseball, because that was kind of a... the heart was beating a little fast last night, Dr. Weston. Is that healthy?
It can be healthy at times. Let's set aside some time for that.
Okay, positive stress. I like positive stress in my life. That's a good thing. Hey, do want to talk about the COVID vaccine confusion. The CDC is pulling back on some universal recommendations and states taking varied approaches. CDC's new guidance now recommends a COVID vaccine primarily for older adults and those with underlying health conditions. How should people decide if getting the vaccine is right for them today?
Yeah, so I'd say you start by assessing your personal health risks and the health of those around you, and that's important as well. So if you're over 65, if you're pregnant, if you have immunocompromise, or certain chronic conditions, things like heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, the data is overwhelmingly clear. You're a lot more likely to get seriously ill if you get COVID. So certainly for the people in these groups, the vaccine isn't just helpful, it can be life-saving. But remember, it's not just about you. If you regularly see or live with or interact with people at high risk, say a grandparent or someone going through chemotherapy, you also want to get yourself vaccinated, even if you're otherwise healthy. The vaccine is generally significant benefit and extremely safe, extremely low risk.
This year is a little different than years past. So where can people go for their COVID vaccine, and could they face any barriers?
Yeah, when we talk about vaccines, we want low barriers to access or no barriers to access. But unfortunately, it is just not that simple this time around. Unlike previous years, getting a COVID vaccine may require a little more effort, as pharmacies, doctors' offices, and even some insurance companies are responding differently depending on where you live and what insurance you have. So I'd say the best approach is to reach out to your insurance provider or your local pharmacy, your primary care clinic, to say, do you have it in stock? Do I need an appointment? Can I just walk in? Will this be covered under my insurance? Now, generally speaking, most people with the private insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid should be able to get the vaccine at no cost. But checking ahead can save you time and frustration. I'll tell you, I got my COVID vaccine last Friday. I went into a metro market. It took about 60 seconds for them to verify my insurance would cover it. I got the shot. I was out about 3 minutes later. Now, I certainly understand it is not that easy for everyone. If you have insurance coverage, it certainly can be. And if you don't have insurance, your best bet may be to check with your local health department and see what resources they're offering.
Dr. Weston, what are some things people should know about this fall's vaccine that can help them feel confident in getting vaccinated?
Yeah, so here are the top three things. So number one, the vaccine is safe. We have years of data now showing that COVID vaccines are safe no matter what you're hearing. Most people, if you experience anything, it's just mild, short-lived symptoms. I felt a little bit of a sore arm, felt slightly more fatigued the day after receiving mine, and that was it. And that's pretty typical. Number two, the COVID vaccines are effective. This updated vaccine was designed to target what's out there right now, what's circulating among people. We know no vaccine is 100%, but getting it is important, especially to prevent that severe disease. And number 3, COVID vaccines are timely. This is the time to get it. We're heading into colder months, so we tend to see COVID surging. So get vaccinated now, and it'll help to protect you throughout the season.
Dr. Weston, I was thinking of this when we started off talking about the Brewers initially. Brewers fans, man, we collectively held our breath earlier this week when Jackson Chourio left Game 1 of the NLDS with that hamstring strain. He was back in the lineup for Games 2 and 3, but hamstring injuries, they're not just for professional athletes. They can happen to all of us. Joggers, busy parents, anyone can be at risk. Why can it be a tricky injury to recover from?
Yeah. So a hamstring strain is basically one or more of those muscles along the back of your thigh get overstretched and sometimes even a little bit torn. Now, it often occurs during sudden movements. You're sprinting, you're jumping, you slip on some wet ground. The tricky part is that since these muscles play such a role in all of the movements we do in walking, bending, sitting, even a mild strain can really impact your life.
Obviously, Jackson Chourio is a world-class athlete. He's got treatment opportunities around the clock if he needs it. But he's also at higher risk, right? Quicker start and stops. The sprints that you talked about, the times that he's been injured, have been trying to, leg a ground ball out and trying to reach first base before the throw does. That's exactly what happened in Game 1.
Right. Yeah, the risk really increases. Now, this isn't necessarily his situation, but when one of us, isn't warming up properly, or we have tight or weak muscles in certain areas, or you jump back into intense activity after taking a break. Even something as simple as you're chasing your dog down the block, you're playing a pickup game with a kid without stretching, that can certainly do it. So if you feel a sharp pull or sudden pain in the back of your thigh, especially if it's followed by some swelling, some bruising, trouble walking, that's a sign you may have strained it. You need to stop and rest. And certainly if you can't put weight on that leg, or you can't walk without limping, you may want to see your healthcare provider and figure out what's going on.
And we certainly don't want Chourio to re-injure himself. What are some key things you can do to heal properly and prevent re-injury?
Yeah, so rest and rehabilitation is one of the main things. Now, he's surrounded by experts who are helping him to rehab. But for most of us, it's just giving your body time to recover and heal. That includes stretching and strengthening, gentle stretches, physical therapy exercise. The physical therapist can certainly help guide you through this safely to get flexibility and strength, and then easing back into those activities gradually. Whatever is your thing, running, lifting, dancing, ramp it up slowly. If you try to do it too soon, a lot of times you'll just re-injure that same muscle and set yourself even further back.
It's a massive muscle group, Dr. Weston. I have strained my hamstring, and the trickiest part was trying to figure out when I could sort of cut it loose again and feel like myself in running. Eventually you get there, but boy, those first moments when you try and even test it a little bit, you're nervous about it because you don't want to, go back to the drawing board or risk more significantly injuring something as it's trying to heal. It's a real tough one.
Yeah, and it's hard because it's a muscle that's hard to rest. You use it when you're just up and walking. So it's a challenging muscle to rest, kind of like if you strain your back, it's hard to rest your back. But it's important to do so, and it's important to really ease back into those activities.
Dr. Weston, this year's Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine was awarded earlier this week to 3 scientists for a discovery that's quietly transforming modern medicine. Can you explain what this year's prize winners discovered about the immune system and why it's considered so groundbreaking?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So it was awarded for this discovery that helps explain one of the body's most essential balancing acts. So how can our immune system attack threats, but at the same time not turn on healthy cells? And so what the winners of this did is they discovered this special type of white blood cell. It's a T cell. It's a type of T cell, which acts like the immune system's peacekeepers. And so without them, the immune system can mistakenly attack healthy tissues, which leads to certain diseases, things like lupus, type 1 diabetes. So these cells play a really critical role.
Pretty amazing stuff here, the Nobel Prize in Medicine. How could this research change the way we treat diseases like cancer or autoimmune disorders down the road?
It really shifts the entire strategy. So instead of broadly suppressing or stimulating the immune system, which is what we've done for decades, people get on these immune suppressant drugs, we can now target the exact mechanism that's keeping that immune system in balance. It means precise treatments. We hear about precision medicine, fewer side effects, ranging for diseases like cancer to autoimmune diseases. So it really changes the game.
At the end of the day, what should we all take away from this discovery? Why does it matter for our everyday health?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can take away that, number one, our immune system needs balance. It has to be able to fight infections, but also keep our body healthy and not fight the healthy parts. Also, autoimmune diseases and cancers are two sides of the same coin, and this discovery helps explain why they both can occur, which holds a lot of potential for treatment. And I think maybe most importantly, this is just another example of how basic science, that tough work, sitting at a bench, working through the data, leads to real-world impact. These scientists have been studying these cells for decades, and we're only now starting to reap the benefits. So this is why research, academic medicine, things happening right over here at the Medical College of Wisconsin and so many other places are critical to the future of our health and how we treat disease.
All right, Dr. Weston, I'm going to break some of your rules tonight. I will have significant screen time before I go to bed. I might be having screen time while I'm in bed, as a matter of fact, watching the Brewers. I will likely not be able to fall asleep after the game, regardless of the outcome, because I'll be kind of wired from watching the game and what it is, and my heart rate is likely to be elevated. But you know what? Everything in moderation, right? It'll all be worth it.
Everything in moderation. Get a little pizza, some ice cream tonight. Just get it all out of the way. Get it out of your system. Why not?
Yeah, she sounds really good,
ice cream
actually.
does sound good,
it's a really good
it?
idea.
Maybe some milk, make a shake. Love it.
Dr. Ben Weston joins us every Thursday here for our weekly wellness check. We appreciate it, Dr. Weston. Thanks so much.
All right, take care.
Yep, sounds good. My kids will be up with us watching the game. They'll have screen time before bed. It's all right. It's playoff time here.
It is. You got to stay up late for that. And that just reminded me, I had some of the best ice cream at the final night market in downtown Milwaukee the other day. It was local. It was horchata. And it was so cinnamony. If you like cinnamon, it was so good. It was so cinnamony, you could feel the cinnamon when you ate it. Does that make sense?
No, but I like what you're saying.
You could feel it. Oh, it tasted so good.
It's 1:55 in WTMJ. 2 o'clock headlines right around the corner.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, who's up for a game? How about playing at Potawatomi Sportsbook? Hey, they're right there with you. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook. All the international games, all the local games, all the matches. The Midwest's best sportsbook opens early. Place your bets, kick back, and enjoy the show on an absolutely incredible video wall. It's 2,000 square feet. It's bigger than my first house. Hey, grab a cold one along with food from the menu. It's packed with flavor. Great menu, great location. Really a great setup at Potawatomi Sportsbook. I'm there every Monday, as a matter of fact, for Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays, where we recap the game and look ahead to the next game here for the green and gold. Not watching the game, but still want in on the action? No problem. You can wager on any sport at one of the many quick service kiosks. Bet above the rest. Hope to see you at Potawatomi Sportsbook.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Keep it to WTMJ as the Brewers fight their way to a pennant throughout the run of the playoffs. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Narrow Spine Center of Wisconsin and by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Fly ball, left field. Hap on the warning track. Hap at the wall.
It's the Brewers and Cubs in Game 4 of the NLDS in Chicago.
It is gone. Jake Bowers having himself a night here at Wrigley.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 7:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 9th. Your top story, a car accident leads to an officer-involved shooting.
Plus, back in court, accused of setting a deadly wildfire.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 50 degrees. Friday, slight chance of morning rain, then partly cloudy with a high of 66. Currently 60 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a man is dead and an officer is recovering after a shooting this morning on Milwaukee's far northwest side.
It happened near 49th and Mill as an off-duty officer was driving to work. A car cut him off and they got into a minor accident. As they were assessing the damage, the 26-year-old driver got out of his car and pistol whipped the officer in the mouth. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says they exchanged gunfire and the man died on scene.
This is a story that happens too often in our community here. How does a minor accident change into a deadly force situation? Unacceptable.
The 40-year-old officer is currently being treated at the hospital. He's being placed on administrative leave as the investigation continues. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A Florida man accused of starting January's deadly fire in the Pacific Palisades back in court in Orlando.
In court in Florida, a federal magistrate ruling Jonathan Rinderknecht must remain in custody until his next hearing on October 17th. He faces up to 20 years in prison for allegedly starting the Palisades fire while he was living in Southern California. In court, it was revealed Rinderknecht recently threatened his family, saying he was going to burn down their house. A judge finding he is still a threat to the community, and the judge is worried he's a flight risk. Prosecutors indicate seemingly obsessed with fire that Rinderknecht started a fire that eventually rekindled and turned into the Palisades fire in January. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Well, the state of Illinois is urging a judge to order the National Guard to stand down in the Chicago area. The state calls the deployment a constitutional crisis and suggests that the Trump administration gave no need to the pending legal challenge. Members of the National Guard arrived Monday. Some are stationed at a Chicago area immigration building. A Department of Justice lawyer says the Chicago area was rife with tragic lawlessness, citing an incident last weekend when a Border Patrol vehicle was boxed in and a woman was shot by an agent.
How about this? A friendly wager between two religious leaders along I-94. Milwaukee Archbishop Jeffrey Grobb and Chicago Cardinal Blaise Supich are betting on their city to win the NLDS, and it's all to benefit low-income families. Grobb tells WTMJ this bet involves donating food.
Cardinal Supich reached out to me and said, well, we've got these teams, so what can we do? And for good, to help feed the hungry, the poor, he proposed that he would provide pizzas from Lou Melinati's and I would provide good old brats from Wisconsin. That's the wager, depending upon who comes out of this best of 5 series.
Good old brats from Wisconsin. Grom says the bet is all in good fun, and he hopes to unite support around both communities.
Time for news about your money in WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow continues to tumble here, down over 300 points at 46,289. NASDAQ off about 70 this afternoon at 22,972. And the S&P 500 off about 31 points at 6723. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
What you need to know before Game 4 of the NLDS. That's coming up. Sports, traffic, and weather right after this. WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way too low?
Yeah, besides that.
Hasselus Mattress is locally owned and managed by the same family. So, your money stays right here. And through Monday, you'll get a $248 credit towards a new Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which, by the way, is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. It's Freddie Peralta and Matthew Boyd on the mound tonight. Brewers and Cubs, Game 4 of the NLDS. If the Brewers win, they advance to the NLCS. The Brewers' loss means Game 5 in Milwaukee on Saturday. First pitch of tonight's game scheduled for 8:08. Our coverage gets underway following the 7 o'clock news. And 14 names appear on the Packers' injury report this week. Never want to see your kicker on that list, but Brandon McManus is. He's dealing with a quadricep strain.
Yeah, that's a major concern right now. So we'll see how he's doing today and tomorrow, and then we'll have a plan ready to go.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, Green Bay 14-point favorites for Sunday's game against the Bengals.
Checking out the roads. Let's get you an update right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Still monitoring this crash in Waukesha County. It's on I-94 East, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. So that is a busy spot. The right lane is blocked because of this crash, and I'm taking a peek at 2 different cameras. We don't usually have this, but in this particular case, we've got 2 angles of this crash. What I can tell you right now, the update is we now have a fire truck out of the scene. You've got an ambulance out there, too. I do see a tow truck out there already as well. We've got a couple people who are out of their vehicles on the side of the road. Traffic is moving slowly around it, thank goodness, because this is an active scene right now. Looks like the tow truck is moving to get one of the cars. But a multi-vehicle crash here. Looks like some injuries as well. This is I-94 East, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. It is a mess right now. The right lane is blocked and traffic is creeping by. The good news is the backup isn't for very long. But if you're in it, You're going very slow right now.
Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 50 degrees. A slight chance for some morning rain on Friday. Otherwise, partly cloudy and a high of 66. Sun returns on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the mid-60s. Might see some rain later in the evening on Sunday, and that could linger into Monday morning. Monday's high 68 under partly sunny skies. 60 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
6 hours till first pitch from Wrigley, Brewers, and Cubs later tonight. Lane Grindle's in Chicago. He's going to join us coming up at about 2:15. Brewers making their pitching decision with Freddie Peralta on the mound tonight. We'll talk to Lane about that. A big decision for Pat Murphy. And never a bad idea to go with your best pitcher. I guess that's the case. But what do you do if there is a Game 5 in Milwaukee? That becomes a question, and I'm sure weighing on the mind of the Brewers manager.
Something felt wrong throughout the show, and it wasn't just because the Brewers lost last night. It was because I didn't have my rally towel out.
Very good point.
And I feel like just in time for us to talk to Lane Grindle, I'm just going to put that sucker back in my computer.
All right, get it decorated. There
Let's
we
go for a win.
It's 2:09.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
You can't see your computer when you put the rally towel on.
I was going to adjust it. Number 1, and just revealed today, new income tax brackets for next year. The IRS made the announcement as almost half of its workforce remains furloughed due to the government shutdown. ABC's Chuck Sievertson has the details you need to know.
The changes are for tax returns filed in 2027. The standard deduction rises to $16,100 for individuals, up from over $15,000. For married couples who file jointly, it is $32,200, up from $31,500. Someone who earns the same income next year would likely owe slightly less in taxes, but the difference may be a few $100s. Up to $15 million is exempt from estate taxes, up from $13.99 million.
Bottom line, Americans will have to earn more income next year before reaching a higher tax bracket.
Well, for the 7th time, the Senate fails to advance a House-passed funding bill that would end the government shutdown. Democrats continue their filibuster, demanding an extension of expiring health insurance subsidies and a reversal of recent Medicaid cuts. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy with the latest from Washington.
Appearing on C-SPAN, House Speaker Mike Johnson faced a tearful caller from Virginia who said her family needs her husband's military pay.
You could stop this, and you could be the one that could say military's getting paid.
In response, Johnson said the troops would be paid if Senate Democrats would stop blocking the House-passed funding stopgap.
We had a vote to pay the troops.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer told Punchbowl News as his party pushes for greater health care spending, quote, "Every day gets better for us." Republicans have blasted him for the remark. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Yeah, the government shutdown ongoing with really no end in sight. That vote today, well, it just didn't go off, right? That's kind of where we're at with this thing right now. And talk to the experts, and they don't see an end in sight anytime soon. 2:11 on WTMJ. We go to Wrigley Field coming up next. Lane Grindle, Brewers broadcaster, standing by. 6 hours until game time at Wrigley. We'll get the latest from Lane after this.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. My dad has really blossomed since moving to Capri and has gained new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place takes my worries away, and now we're both enjoying life again.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza made right here in the state of Wisconsin. It's Palermo's Pizza. Well, that sounds pretty good about now, doesn't it? Never really a bad time for Palermo's Pizza. They got a slice for every appetite. Screamin' Sicilian, Connie's, Urban Pie, the neighborhood pizzeria pizza is great. Primo Thin, that's my wife's favorite. We really don't discriminate in our household. Now, if it's Palermo's, we're eating it. We're going for it. Check out Palermo's wherever you like to shop, including Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Sendik's, Piggly Wiggly, wherever you go. You'll find Palermo's Pizza. Also, how about this deal? Stranger Things frozen pizza, inspired by the hit TV show Netflix. On Netflix, right? The Stranger Things pizza. It's available for you. $4.99 at Festival Foods now through the 14th of October. How about that? Stranger Things pizza as you prepare for the final adventure. Season 5 is coming up here. All made by Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
$60 degrees the high today, 50 your overnight low, 66 on Friday. Some rain chances in the morning, but very slight. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Weekend looks great. Temperatures in the mid-60s with plenty of sunshine. 60 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 214.
Keller's opening pitch. Ground ball sharply hit. Horner has it on a dive. Gets up, throws to first, and the Cubs off the mat survive in game 3 and force a fourth game tomorrow night at Wrigley.
No, it's tonight, Jeff Levering. Tonight at Wrigley Field. Brewers just unable to get a run across late in the game against the Cubs. They had some opportunities, just couldn't quite get it done. 4 runs scored in the first inning for the Cubs. Well, that lasts. That becomes enough in a 4-3 win. So big game tonight, of course, with Freddie Peralta on the mound. Lane Grindle is there in Chicago, joining us on the line. Hi, Lane.
Hey, guys. How are we?
Doing great here. So I'm still optimistic. Jessica's peeled out her Magic Brew rally towel. See, it's been hiding the entire show. Now we have it out, so I feel like she's starting to get into it here, too.
Just for you, Lane, I said something has felt different because the last couple of days I've had it. I've been whipping it around during the openings of the show. And I don't know, you're just feeling a little bit of that loss. So I thought, nope, we got to jump back into things. I'm always optimistic, and we can do this. But I'm curious, what adjustments do you think that the Brewers need to make sure that we do this and we get a win and hopefully we make it through on top for the series?
Yeah, well, I don't know that there's adjustments to make. I just think it's about continuing to play your brand of baseball, which is what this team has done all season long. There's always going to be, bumps along the way. I mean, that's the way this game works. But I thought they did a good job last night applying pressure. They just didn't get the big hit with runners in scoring position, which is something they did a lot more of in games 1 and games 2. This is one of the best teams in baseball hitting with runners in scoring position over the course of the season. So I think continue to put yourself in those spots and have confidence in the guy behind you that he's going to come through and get the big hit. And I think that is what this team's MO has been, and I think it'll continue to be. I think the biggest thing, and probably both teams are saying this right now, is can you get a 0 in the first inning? Because neither team has put a 0 up in the first inning from their starting pitching, and you feel good about that with Freddie Peralta on the mound here tonight for the Crew.
So usually the theory is you want to talk about a recipe for success in the postseason, get off to a fast start, right? Not exactly the case. The team that has scored first has ended up losing every game so far in this series.
Yeah, both teams have gotten off to fast starts, but the home team's gotten off to a faster start. That's basically the way that it's gone. So it's so interesting. I mean, this is the same game as what we watch all season long, but then at the same time, it's just different. I mean, the energy's different. The sense of urgency is different. The at-bats pitch to pitch feel different. I think that's one of the reasons the Brewers have so much success in the regular season is because I think they bring that sense of urgency to every at-bat at such a consistent clip. So then when they get to this point in the season now, this group is still playing their brand of baseball. They don't have to change anything. So, hopefully they can get off to another fast start here tonight and give Freddie a little lead to work with, because if that can happen, you'll feel really good.
Lane, what are your thoughts on Quinn Priester taking the blame for the Brewers' Game 3 NLD loss? NLDS loss. I mean, he basically said it's entirely on me. I mean, this is a team effort, but he was feeling that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a big moment for a young player, and he was such a huge reason why the Brewers won the division this year and had the best record in baseball. I mean, he was one of the most important and valuable pitchers in the National League this season. So you felt great handing him the ball last night. It didn't work out. Young players in these moments, sometimes consistency and finding their command and everything else that comes along with it can be a little bit more challenging when you get into the postseason. So he shouldn't shoulder all the blame. He definitely wants that one back. But if I'm the Brewers, I don't hesitate to give him the ball again at some point down the road here in the postseason, because he's earned that over the course of the year with his body of work. And I think he'll bounce back the next time he gets the ball, because he was such an incredibly consistent force for the Brewers all season long.
So I know it's kind of a crystal ball question here, Lane, but if yesterday's game goes any bit differently, let's say Priester ends up going 4 innings or something like that, does Freddie Peralta have the mound tonight? Were they planning on Quintana starting tonight initially in their ideal world plan? I guess the ideal world plan would be winning and sweeping the Cubs, but you know what I'm saying here.
I don't know if I can answer that, because I don't know all the conversations they're having or what their plans were in that regard. For me, and I can only speak for me, I'm handing the ball to Freddie Peralta every time I can. And this is normal rest for him. It would be his day to pitch in a regular season rotation situation. So I would hand him the ball, regardless of what happened the night before, because he's one of the best pitchers in the National League. And I think just his presence on the mound gives everybody a lift, in my opinion. I mean, I think if you're the fans, you feel it. I mean, Freddie is one of the core 3 that's left of this group that's been around for all of this since 2018. Him, Brandon Woodruff, Christian Yelich. And he's arguably been the face of the pitching staff over the course of this stretch. So who better than Freddie Peralta to hand the ball to tonight? So I would have done it all along. I don't know if the Brewers had I'm sure they had contingency plans based upon a bunch of different things that could play out last night. But to me, the best option you have is to hand the ball to Freddie tonight regardless.
Lane, do you think a loss like last night gets into the heads of these guys? I mean, it is a young team.
No, I don't think so at all. I think it'll motivate them. They want to finish this thing off, but I don't think that there's any overreaction to this in the Brewers clubhouse. They were right there. They had their chances last night. They'll be fine. I'm not worried about that at all.
Brewers and Cubs later tonight, 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins. First pitch just after 8 o'clock tonight. And then we'll see what happens here, Lane, right? I mean, from a decision-making standpoint, I get it. It kind of backfired on Craig Counsell in Game 1 with Matthew Boyd. The Ashby thing didn't really work out for the Brewers in Game 2, but the Brewers found a way to win that game. Quinn Priester, the right guy to start yesterday, but it didn't work out. It's hard to say that the managerial buttons being pushed by either side have been catastrophic, but it is what it is. You kind of go with your best when you can. You go with your next best when it's his time to play. Guys in and out of the lineup, Jake Bauers instead of Andrew Vaughn yesterday, that pays off ultimately. It's so fascinating to watch the chess match here and what one team will do based upon what another team does.
Yeah, I think the thing, Greg, about managerial moves that we have to remember is sometimes the right move doesn't work. Sometimes the wrong move does, just in terms of historically by the numbers, what's the right play here? Because the baseball is round and it bounces different ways and you can't control everything, right? So sometimes you make the right move, but other factors play into it and it doesn't work out. And I think probably the case. I mean, you have the information in front of you. You make the best decision you can make with that information and you go from there. I mean, at some point, and you don't put blame on players, but, at some point, it's out of your hands now, right? And it's what is going on the field and the execution of whatever it is that you're trying to push the buttons of. So, I mean, it is fascinating. It's a different type of game to manage in the postseason, but, I would argue that both managers have done a pretty good job with their bullpens over the course of this series. The bullpens have been really good on both sides for the most part. I mean, Churio got after Palencia with that 3-run home run on Monday night, but And then, of course, Soroka had his struggles in game one for the Cubs, but the Brewers bullpen has been really good so far.
All right. Well, we're hoping for a W tonight. Is the champagne on ice? Do we know what brand it is?
I couldn't give you the name brand of one brand of champagne. So it's champagne. It'll be in the house. It'll be ready to go. Hopefully the Brewers have a reason to pop the bubbly tonight.
There should be incentive, right? I remember the year the Packers played in the Super Bowl. Before the Super Bowl, Mike McCarthy took the team out and they got fitted for rings. I thought that was amazing. That was before the game.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So what you do here before batting practice, you just start wheeling in these coolers. You start putting plastic up lane, right? Sort of manifest the idea of winning and celebrating at that dump of a field in Chicago.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, manifest it. Just, be under the assumption that this is going to happen. I like it.
And you should be the one to wheel the cooler in lane. This would be a great spot for you.
Getting older, Greg, that's a lot of work for me.
Okay.
My back might not hold up.
Listen, we don't really need to know the brand. I mean, it could be Prosecco these days. A lot of people don't even need champagne.
Right,
the
yeah.
Prosecco, it's
Brut?
lighter.
No, that's a cologne, right?
Yeah, Brut's a little different.
Brut's a cologne, right? That's not champagne.
Well,
Is Brut a cologne, too?
I can't come up with a brand of champagne. I can't think of one right off the top of my head. I don't know.
How about Dom?
We can ask Dom. He knows champagne.
No, I got one. Corbel.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Corbel.
Yes.
Yeah. Just make sure it's the
I know
champagne.
I've got a couple corks from prior celebrations back in like 2018 and 2019 that have the Corbel.
That's an easy one to pick up at Metro Market.
Well, a couple simple rules here. If it's Brut, make sure it is the champagne, not the cologne. And if it's Corbel, make
is
sure
there a Brut champagne?
I think it's a variety,
yes,
right? It's kind of dry.
Okay.
And if you're going to go the Corbel variety, just make sure it's not brandy. If you're chugging that in the clubhouse after the game and spraying it around, that might be uncomfortable.
Yeah, Brut, very dry style.
Yes, very dry.
Very dry.
Very dry. Okay. All right, Lane. Well, good. Glad we covered off all the serious stuff here. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon in Chicago, and we'll listen for you tonight.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
appreciate it. Lane Griddle joining us from Chicago. Our coverage gets underway following the 7 o'clock news, network coverage at 7:30, and first pitch just after 8 o'clock tonight.
I wasn't really expecting him to give us a brand name. I was just joking. But if he had one, I would have been impressed.
Yeah, Corbel, I think, is what I've noticed in years past.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like that's an easy one to pick up.
2:25 news coming up in just a few here on WTMJ.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Hey, Siding Unlimited is truly siding and a whole lot more. You want to talk about the best in the business when it comes to beautifying your home's exterior? Well, I'm not kidding when I say it is Siding Unlimited. Recently recognized by Pella as their 5-time National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year. It simply means this: the best installers of the Pella windows in the United States is Siding Unlimited. That's pretty impressive. Well, they've got the same sort of accolades for roofing, doors, windows, siding, you name it. Everything they do is top-notch. The craftsmanship is wonderful. Products are great as well, and great people at Siding Unlimited. Why would you want to work with anyone else, right? You can trust Siding Unlimited. They've done work on our homes. They will do it for you as well. Check out Siding Unlimited's website, sidingunlimited.com, or head off to their showroom, 665 Leary Court. Bring some ideas and pictures and work with Siding Unlimited on developing your next project. It's Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill. Witness the spectacular fall colors as you drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds. Tonight only, enjoy an 8-ounce beef tenderloin paired with a mahi-mahi topped with mango salsa, potato, super salad, and the Fox & Hound's homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for $68.99. And that's for 2 dinners. Relax with an old-fashioned, over 20 bourbons, and 100 wines in the 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox & Hounds is off Highway 167, east of the Holy Hill Shrine. The fall colors are breathtaking. Enjoy 2 beef tenderloin and mahi-mahi dinners tonight only for $68.99. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Desserts, too. Tables are open. Serving from 4 p.m. Call and reserve. Google the Fox & Hounds for your free dinner.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
Picture this. You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay. And it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 9th. Your top story. What should happen to Panthers Arena and the Milwaukee Theater?
I'm Jessica Tighe. Financial support for soybean farmers.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 50. Slight chance of morning rain on Friday, then partly cloudy, a high of 66.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Israel's government meeting to ratify Phase 1 of the U.S. peace deal to end the war in Gaza. Israel's prime minister met with his security cabinet earlier into the night. Per a copy of the Israel deal seen by ABC News, the ceasefire will begin as soon as the government votes to approve it. IDF forces will have 24 hours to withdraw to new development lines. Then the 72-hour window opens for the release of the remaining 48 hostages. ABC's Ian Panel is in Hostages Square in Tel Aviv, where families are waiting.
Scenes of jubilation, of relief, finally hope realized. We were here 2 days ago when we were talking about the anniversary of the war, and there were still so many doubts. 2 years since this terrible war began, Palestinians and Israelis can finally dare hope that their long nightmare is coming to an end.
Israeli officials say all 20 living hostages will be freed on Sunday or Monday in one group. President Trump says he could travel to the region for the signing. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 2:31. The head of the Wisconsin Center District is defending a study they've implemented looking into the future of the Milwaukee Panthers Arena and Miller High Life Theater.
The study is merely meant to learn more about the long-term sustainability of the two venues, says Center District Chair Marty Brooks.
It is not an action plan that we have any requirement to move forward with. It's background information.
Brooks tells Wisconsin's Morning News the intent is to get more information about options
and start thinking about and discussing where do we want to be as a community.
But Brooks also did say a convention hotel would help lock in more events.
To have another hotel close in proximity would really help us attract more business.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Results from the study are expected to come out in January.
A federal judge hands down a sentence for a Wisconsin man accused of smuggling lab equipment to Russian companies companies.
68-year-old Andrew Pagosian, a Russian-born U.S. citizen who lives in Madison, will spend a year in federal prison. Back in June, federal prosecutors charged Pagosian with 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and 3 counts of smuggling. Prosecutors say 3 years ago, Pagosian started using his company to ship lab equipment to Russian companies, including one that performed chemical research for the Russian military. Officials say that was a violation of trade sanctions. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
As Wisconsin soybean farmers face more financial difficulties due to tariffs, the White House is offering a potential $10 to $15 billion bailout. Midwest Farm Report host Pam Yankee tells WTMJ it's unclear how the funds would reach the farmers.
Obviously, the federal government is shut down, so even if the administration decided to move forward with this, that money supposedly coming out of tariff-collected dues, the federal government wouldn't have a way to administer it to farmers.
Pam says despite soybean challenges, Wisconsin corn and cheese sales have strong exports.
We now know the identity of the man who died after a fireworks explosion in an Oak Creek apartment. The medical examiner says it was 29-year-old DeAndre Lawrence who was found unresponsive Wednesday morning at the Seasons of Orchard Hills apartment complex. Initial reports indicate a large amount of fireworks exploded in the kitchen of that apartment. Lawrence died at the hospital.
Now the Brewers take the field tonight at Wrigley Field, 8:08. Former Brewers pitcher Jerry Augustine says the 2025 team awfully impressive.
This club has gone out and not only been a team that manufactures runs, but can go out and hit some home runs. And we've seen it in the playoffs already. Game 1, manufacturing runs. Game 2, home runs. So they bring a lot to the game.
And this year's team has a shot at the pennant, no doubt. Augustine believes that the 82 team still reigns supreme as the most impressive in Brewers history.
Let's get it all, but got to get the win tonight. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
How do you want your backyard to look? New deck, patio, shade area, pergola, fire pit, in-ground pool, outdoor kitchen, or all of it? Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build your space, and everyone will scream wow when they see your new backyard. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like 5-gallon Midwest can fuel cans, just $14.99. A 1.5 amp Schumacher battery maintainer, $27.99. All mobile Delvac 1 diesel oil starts at $15.99 after $10 rebate. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing you the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
You know what it's like to go through something you thought would be a cakewalk, but it turned into a crucible. What started as a formality became formative. It changed you. And if you know what that's like, then you can relate to what happened to God's people in the book of Numbers. And maybe you can learn something by listening to their story.
Dr. Michael Ziegler, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Another opportunity for the Brewers to close out the Cubs tonight. The Brewers confirmed Game 1 starter Freddie Peralta will start tonight in Game 4. Matthew Boyd will go for the Cubs. First pitch scheduled for 8:08. If necessary, Game 5 scheduled for Saturday in Milwaukee. And 14 names appear in the Packers injury report this week despite coming off the bye. That includes kicker Brandon McManus. He's battling a quadricep strain, according to head coach Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, that's a major concern right now. So we'll see how he's doing today and tomorrow, and then we'll have a plan ready to go.
The Packers are 14.5-point favorites for Sunday's game against the Bengals at Lambeau. And preseason basketball tonight for the Bucks at home against the Pistons. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock.
Things are looking much better in Waukesha County at the scene of that crash at I-94 East, about 1.5 miles beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. The right lane is still blocked by only one vehicle at this point, and that is a lot better. Last time I checked in with you, we had ambulance out there, a fire truck out there. Numerous cars were involved in that crash. You had the tow truck out there as well. It was just a mess. So this is looking a lot better. There is a little bit of slowing, but only one car now off to the side of the road because of that crash. And I-94 East, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland.
50 degrees here, overnight low, partly cloudy skies, sunny on Friday eventually, but some morning rain possible and a high of 66. Sun returns in full force on Saturday and Sunday. Nice days with temperatures in the mid-60s. It is 60 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:37.
So we now have new details about that deadly officer-involved shooting in Milwaukee's northwest side. We now know the man who was killed was a 26-year-old. The officer involved was off duty at the time, and we've also learned more about him. He is a 40-year-old man with 21 years of experience in the force. So this all started around 8:30 this morning. The two of them got into a minor car crash near 49th and Mill Road. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman, right around, 12:30 or so, held this press conference to update everybody on the details. And the police chief said both men, so they get into this crash, right? It's just a minor deal. But he said after that, both men got out of their cars. Then the driver of the car pulled out a gun and pistol whipped the officer in the face. Chief Norman says the two then exchanged gunfire. Who fired first is still being investigated. They have a lot to look into yet. But the bottom line is this started as a little crash, right? That you could have happen right now in the afternoon and everybody could get out, you could exchange information and then carry on cheerio. But no, that is not what happened here.
And there's no way of knowing that the off-duty officer was indeed an officer. He was off-duty and in civilian clothes, not driving a police vehicle. So they get into a minor fender bender of some sort. One takes it the wrong way. We don't know exactly what sort of verbal back and forth there was. But according to Chief Norman, they were discussing the minor incident that ultimately resulted in gunfire and this 26-year-old Milwaukee man dying at the scene. It's also unclear if the cop identified himself as a police officer. Chief Norman wouldn't really get into that, so there's more details that they're working to sift through. We also don't understand yet who shot first in this back and forth. No body cam video because, again, the officer was off duty, but
there is video.
Norman says there is video, right? There's surveillance video, and he says very clear video that will be released in time, but it's not yet been released.
Yeah, and he said he did watch that video. I also want you to listen to this because Chief Norman got very passionate at one point during that press conference.
This was a moment where they were just looking at a minor vehicle accident. And this is a story that happens too often in our community here. How does a minor accident change into a deadly force situation? Unacceptable. We have to be better than this. There is no place for violence for these particular type of minor or even just argumentative disputes.
They did recover a gun. And this was a tense scene for a while because earlier this morning, of course, you've got the police tape up. The investigation is going on now, but you had an ambulance out there. You had emergency responders out there. And then you also had a crowd that was gathering.
Absolutely, right? And you just kind of get more information here at the 12:30 press conference from Chief Norman. Might have another update here a little later in the afternoon, maybe around dinner time or so. But more details are certainly available at some point to the public or will be made available. A big scene developed, and it shouldn't have, right? I mean, point blank, you get into a little minor fender bender, and yeah, nobody's happy about the whole deal, and you try and exchange information or figure out who's going to handle what. Call police, but who knows? Who knows what was behind the 26-year-old's intention? But a 21-year-old experienced officer, 40-year-old officer, and a 26-year-old Milwaukee man involved.
They did recover a gun, and we mentioned there is video. It's not dash cam video. It's not police camera video, but there's video out there. You think about it. Everybody's got their phones these days, right? Also, there's so many security cameras around. It is very easy for police to get their hands on video. And they do have video. They say it will be released at some point. The police chief has watched the video, he said. Right now, we do know the officer, he was pistol whipped in the face, so he is recovering. He's got some injuries. He's also being placed on administrative leave during the investigation, which is normal protocol.
It's 2:42 here on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Siding Unlimited. Take us with you wherever you go. It's Wisconsin's Midday News. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Are you a member of the State of Wisconsin Pension Program? If so, you may have questions about your benefits and what they mean to your retirement plan. Join me along with Anna Wealth Management Director of Financial Planning Eric Strom and Senior Financial Planner Tom Burkholz on October 21st at 3:30 p.m. We'll discuss fundamentals, like how to look at your statement, and go deeper looking at case studies that may help relieve concerns and answer your questions about WRS. That's Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Register now. Visit WTMJ.com or events at annexwealth.com.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Founded by inventors, fueled by community, focused on business. Greg Matzek here with a very cool story about Horicon Bank, a bank that first opened its doors in 1896. Well, they were there for the community in Horicon back in the 1800s. They are still there for the community in Horicon and beyond, as Horicon Bank is expanding in southeastern Wisconsin. But they've not lost that community-minded feel. They are wonderful people with great designed packages for you. Financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks. Your banker understands you and your business at Horicon. Service and products go hand in hand. Wonderful products to help meet your cash flow needs. Get that business off the ground and maintain that cash flow. Increase it. Work with Horicon Bank. Together doing good, that is the vision. They are committing to doing what it takes to help you and your business at Horicon Bank. Truly the natural choice, and member FDIC.
Sweet Talks is a woman-owned medical spa in Menominee Falls, fostering self-love and confidence. Our expert registered nurse injectors go beyond injectables, offering lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. Join thousands of satisfied patients at sweettalks.com.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the Mine Chef Family Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. No coupons, no gimmicks. You put your seats in the seats and you get the deal. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. You get the idea. You want 50 pizzas? You will get 50 more free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and clients. They'll really appreciate you. Call now. Pick up shortly. Your second pizza is free all day long. Coaches, bring in that team. Maybe football, soccer, cross country. Beef up on the free Mine Chef pizza. Your players will love that huge game room because all day long it's big food, big fun, super affordable team bonding. Bring in your family for free pizza today with plenty to take home for tomorrow. I love the pepperoni. No cook-up, no cleaning. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh right near EAA. Walk in today for your free Thursday pizza. Business owner managers, get on it. It's the Mine Shaft.
We've seen a significant uptick in the number of gasping customers in this 12-foot radius at Penny Mustard.
This is where we display the Joni sofa.
Now that's a gasp-worthy sofa.
You'd never know something this strong and beautiful could be so comfortable. Was that you?
Oh no, it's contagious.
Come see the Joni sofa, American-made with Fortress hardwood frame, ultra-high-density cushions, and hundreds of fabric and leather options. Starting at $19.13 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Every family adventure begins with a vehicle you can trust. At Boucher Automotive Group, we're more than just a dealership, we're part of your journey.
For over 40 years, Boucher has helped Wisconsin families find the right vehicle with service you can count on.
Community is what fuels us too. That's why you'll see us supporting local schools, Little League teams, golf outings, and other causes throughout the year.
From the first time you get behind the wheel to every service visit after, Boucher is there for all the miles and the memories that matter.
The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
50 degrees, your overnight low tomorrow. Could see some rain in the morning. Nothing significant. It doesn't appear anyway. And then you got some cloudy skies in the afternoon with temperatures in the mid-60s. Should be sunny and nice on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the mid-60s. Perhaps some overnight rain on Sunday into Monday. Monday eventually becomes sunny with a high of 68. 60 and sunny in Milwaukee at 246. So it was about this time yesterday that ESPN had reported the Bucks and New York Knicks discussed a potential trade involving Giannis Antetokounmpo during the offseason. Giannis has been the discussion point for so many different things throughout the course of the offseason. Will he come back to the Bucks? Is he happy with the Bucks? Does he think he can win in Milwaukee? And Shams Charania of ESPN has been the one sort of fanning the flames here, right? Just saying, well, there's these meetings happening, and Giannis still isn't sure if he's going to come back to the team. Well, lo and behold, Giannis is back with the team, and he is practicing with the team. Not sure if he's going to play tonight, but he is with the team after a small bout with COVID. Well, Sharania indicated that Giannis was open to considering a trade to the Knicks, and only the New York Knicks. But the discussions never really amounted to anything. Neither team had a real serious conversation about this or a serious offer on the table. But the rumors emerged following the Bucks' third consecutive first-round playoff exit, when Giannis reportedly expressed uncertainty about the team's direction and a desire to win another title. He has been very consistent with that, Jessica. He wants to play for a winner. And we've talked about the Giannis filter. Will the Bucks make this move or that move? Well, put it through the Giannis filter. Will this help us keep Giannis? That's been the question. And if the answer is yes, the Bucks have made the move. If the answer is no, the Bucks haven't made the move.
Well, I like that we're hearing now from Giannis Antetokounmpo himself. He's talking about this. In fact, he talked with Eric Name of The Athletic, and he said, I want to be in a situation where I can win. And we know that. He's a winning player, right? He wants to win another championship. That's no secret. And he's basically like, I'm here now. I believe in this team. I believe in my teammates. Let's do this. But the one thing I did take note of, and I thought, oh, okay. He said, now if in 6-7 months I change my mind, I think that's human too. You're allowed to make any decision you want, but I'm locked in. So at first I was like, oh, because that kind of just all of a sudden puts more of a timeline on it. And then I'm thinking, oh gosh, what is that timeline? But 6 or 7 months down the road is quite a while yet. So we're not talking about him like all of a sudden up and leaving in the middle of the season.
Well, let's walk through what that timeline could look like. The first part of the timeline, the story by ESPN. The second component of the timeline is Giannis talking about it, asked about the reporting.
First of all, I haven't read that story. When the season started, I tried to get off social media, tried to focus on my craft and the team. But yeah, I've said this many times. Like, I want to be in a situation that I can win. I believe in this team. I believe in my teammates. You know, I'm here to lead this team to wherever we can go. And it's definitely gonna be hard. We're gonna take it day by day, but I'm here. So all the other extra stuff does not matter.
So Giannis is currently committed to the Bucks for the season, and he has stated that his mind could change in the future, but depending on performance.
I think I've communicated with my teammates, communicate with the people that I respect and love, that the moment that I step in on this court or in this facility, I wear this jersey, the rest does not matter. I'm locked into whatever I have in front of me. Now, if in 6-7 months I change my mind, I think that's human too. You're allowed to make any decision you want, but I'm locked in. I'm locked into this team. I'm locked into these guys, to this group, and to my coaching staff, and to myself.
So the timeline, 6 or 7 months. That puts you in April or May. If the Bucks season ends in April, I will be fearful that Giannis will no longer be a Buck. If it ends in May, there's a better chance of him coming back to Milwaukee. Why do I say that? Because April's when the regular season ends.
Right.
And by the end of April, you're still talking about the first round of the playoffs, and the Bucks have a first-round exit once again. I will be very worried about Giannis's future in Milwaukee.
Is this the first time that you felt that way?
I have never felt more convinced that Giannis will not finish his career in Milwaukee than I am today.
Yeah. It just felt a little different when he kind of put a timeline out there. We should note, though, too, you've got Coach Doc Rivers talking about this as well. And one of the things that he mentioned was, you know, this story, all this talk about this, he said it gets old for us. But at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about it. But he did say, I can tell you John, as in John Horst, has never called a team about Giannis. That has never happened. And until that happens, you really don't have a story. That's what Coach Doc Rivers said.
Well, so Giannis doesn't believe that any of what's being reported is a distraction. Well, that's good. I don't know about the other players on the team, but Giannis doesn't believe it is. In fact, he's communicated his commitment to the team.
There's always going to be conversations. There's always going to be rumors, you know, and you just got to get used to that, right? So, you know, now I think like we're a young team. So with my actions and with my words, I just got to keep on validating to those guys that we're here to do something special. We're here to learn. Here to play hard, and we're here to compete.
All right, back to the timeline here. Giannis is under contract with the Bucks through the 2026-27 season. He has a player option for 27-28, but prepare for another offseason of Giannis watch.
And that starts when the season ends until the season begins. You know, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to approach me or approach my agents, and they're going to say, hey, this is a possibility, that's a possibility, this is a possibility, this is a possibility, but at the end of the day, ultimately, I'm going to make a decision. My decision today is that I'm here. and I'm committed to this team.
Giannis will be eligible for a 4-year contract extension next offseason. That's the final component to the timeline. If that's turned down or the Bucks decide not to act on a 4-year extension offer for Giannis, he could start seeing this thing starting to fizzle a little bit, his time in Milwaukee.
The one thing I will say about Giannis is I feel like no matter what happens in 6 or 7 months, until then, he is all in. He is going to be the best he can be because that is just in him. He works hard. He wants to do the best. And I love that. I mean, maybe he works on the free throws a little bit, but, he's trying.
Well, I'm with you on that, right? I mean, if Giannis has the jersey on, he's got the jersey on, right? And he's playing the only way that he knows how to play, which is pedal to the floor and go, right? I mean, he will not shortchange anybody in the stands or his teammates or the league. He's a legacy guy. He's got a standard for himself. Part of his legacy, he wants to have multiple championships. And if there's a first-round exit for the Bucks, it will be hard for me to believe that Giannis has a long-term future moving forward in Milwaukee beyond this season.
Man, he's a good guy, though, and is he fun to watch?
No doubt, right?
Love it.
Look, they make a deep run, they win. All that's off the table, right? Maybe you're seeing the light here, right? We've got a team. We just need one piece or something like that. That's how the Bucks won a title. But first-round playoff exits and keeping Giannis, they don't go hand in hand. That's becoming a problem here in Milwaukee. 2:53 on WTMJ. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Vince Vetrano for Matrix Basement Finishing. Just had Brent and Josh from Matrix out to our house because the kids are all in college, and my wife and I wanted some ideas about what our basement could look like. Josh had more questions for me. How long are you going to be in the house? How do you want to use the space? What's the dream scenario? Because Matrix is not about selling you what they want to sell you. They're about working with you to design a beautiful and amazing basement your family can enjoy. For special pricing and a free flat screen up to 75 inches, visit matrixbasements.com/Vetrano.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Just getting some new details in basically a statement from the Milwaukee Police Association president in regards to the officer-involved shooting at Milwaukee's northwest side this morning, around 8:30 this morning. You had a man who got into a minor car crash with an off-duty Milwaukee police officer. It happened near 49th and Mill Road. Both men got out of their cars, and the driver pulled out a gun and pistol-whipped the officer in the face. The two then exchanged gunfire, and this man died. And then you've got the officer who is now in the hospital and is recovering. So now this is from the Milwaukee Police Association president. He says, I just came from the hospital after visiting our injured officer, and I can tell you we are incredibly lucky he's alive. And then he basically goes into the situation that happened, and he said his courage and quick response not only saved his own life, but likely prevented more violence in that neighborhood.
Off-duty officer who got into a fender bender with this 26-year-old man, and in the process of discussing that fender bender, he was pistol whipped in the face. A gunfight broke out. Not sure exactly who fired first. Body cam footage not available because it's an off-duty officer. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman said there is video, however, that will be made available to the public at some point, just not yet.
Yeah, and this officer, while he is recovering, he will be placed on administrative leave, and that is something that typically happens during the investigation, an investigation like this. But the president of the Milwaukee Police Association also saying this is what our officers face every day, even when they're off duty, even when they're just trying to get to work. We stand with him.
Updates as they become available throughout the day here on WTMJ. We are out of time. Wisconsin's afternoon news with Julia Fellow and Telly Hughes begins in just a few minutes. Brewers baseball later tonight. Our coverage gets underway following the 7 o'clock news. First pitch scheduled for 8:08.